Like Ben said, we're supposed to be.
That's good. Yeah, 200 meters odd to like ahead.
I will give you fair warning.
So we're sort of setting the speed, and then we're just scouting ahead.
Yeah, let me just check all the shit again. Blah blah blah. Yes. The only bit you need to know is about scouts, really. So, as in, you're not part of the main convoy. You'll be further ahead, and you're
not more than 200 meters.
Yeah, I mean, we can be a bit more flexible with that.
Can you hear that in the background?
I guess that just depends.
But not out of line of sight. And if we're in a town or whatever where there's lots of turns, not ahead of 200 meters away.
Yeah, because I think it just depends, like, where we are. Because like, 200 meters average, give or take, depending.
Yeah, it is leeway, but as I said, closer in situations where the distance is deceptive, like towns. If it's on a very long flat road, like the one just to the west, I think, of here, then you can probably get up to 3 or 4, and it won't be too much of a big deal as long as you'll still be in line of sight. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
You know.
Microphone muted.
You know how to form a coil and shit, right?
Microphone activated.
You know how to form a coil and shit, right?
Forward call.
A coil.
Oh, coil.
Yeah. There have been a lot of fancy ways to do it, which I think are a bit overcomplicated. Basically, if you'll always be the first vehicle, you just stop in the middle of the road facing forwards, and everyone else will form one around you. And for herringbones, just remember your first vehicle, so you go on the left, and your arc is around us.
It was a bit awkward last time because our front driver's side wheel was fucked, so it just did not want to turn left. So I was like, "Fuck it, just park on the right."
I don't mean actually around you. You'll still be at the point of it. You don't need to move anywhere.
Oh, sweet.
Because we'll set it up behind you, basically.
Wow, I am one full boy.
Yes.
Where are you chaps going to be operating
I
tonight?
put marker on the teaching examples, and then we'll do practical stuff wherever you're not.
You stay east of Gravia, you stay west of Gravia?
Go it. I can work with that, yeah.
Sure.
That reminds me, I need to make some like vehicle SOP like boards.
There's a bunch of pictures on the SOP.
Microphone muted.
End up linking them in the team speak
Microphone activated.
But they're very good.
That's what I mean. I put them on the board.
Cool. Well, I've made some examples on the road as well, so we'll see. Well, let's just talk about that thing.
Bless him wherever he is.
Yeah. I'm streaming, by the way. Should I turn it off?
Well, it doesn't really matter actually if you'll see it, but yeah, just to remind you need to have chosen your choice by.
Yes.
Yeah, by next op, so preferably tonight if possible.
You want Whisper, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think I have. I'm doing tonight to confirm.
Good, and then you can get back to us at the end. Cool.
Yeah.
See you then. Oh, baby just jumped over.
It's just super.
Wait, it's about 5 steps.
Yes, I know. I couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, he thinks he's.
Oh, looks like Fox is
So we'll talk to him afterwards when he's had his final look.
Good stuff.
Cool.
It's off Game Pass now. I can't play it.
What? Is it? Why?
I'll go.
It was on there for 2 days.
What was?
What that? Sea of Thieves was on the Game Pass for Xbox for 2 days. Well,
What was that sound then?
It was probably my 8-month-old daughter that sat next to me.
It sounds like a baby T-Rex.
Oh yeah, it is a baby T-Rex.
Oh, Underwood. Guess who's driving tonight, by the way?
this guy here.
Yep.
We're gonna die.
Are we taking 2 vehicles or 1 spill?
2, 1 per fire team. Or over at least. Maximum
Jurgens
fighter
or
power.
Hardwick? Which one of you can drive?
You say that guy.
It'd be Jurgens.
I'm still
When we
waiting
were
when you guys
saving the
call
Americans,
if
I
you
did the most
are still waiting
sweetest
on guys,
sacrifice
we'll
to
be
our
moving out at
car and
7:15
save
start the lesson at the latest, over.
1-0 bro. This is 1-2 Charlie. 1-2 is set out.
You're driving, Jurgen.
Air transport's pretty much the same.
I've got time to make a quick coffee.
You've got T minus 6 minutes.
That's plenty of time, right?
Was it Bravo? This is 1 more Charlie. 1 more.
I'll keep dropping my screen
Out.
Well, are we heading to Gravia now?
Okay.
I feel like he's lost.
Charge everyone, prep for teleport.
Oh, prep for teleport. Base did not have 6 minutes.
Oh. Good luck.
Yep. I think while I was standing up, it's teleportation.
So that your knee doesn't end up in your stomach.
Teleports only work when you're standing up, Spittle. Duh. Everyone knows that.
Well, then we should definitely sit down then, so it doesn't work.
You have to be standing up to ascend.
Here we go in the extra map.
I ascended!
Oh yeah, shit.
Alright, on me.
Is that me?
Come here.
Where's my lead?
School circle on me.
Hello, 1-1. This is 1
Over here.
Bravo. You don't need to form that. The end of school circle, please now.
Yeah, I did think that.
I thought I said it. Don't remember. Lesson plan. There it is.
I got teleported with the infantry.
You're in the wrong group, looks like.
Oh, no.
Well, I only teleport 1, 1, 1, 2, and 1, 0, so.
Oh, I don't know. Someone dragged me in.
The what?
Poor Rek. I think you're Reki, you're meant to be able to navigate.
Oh shit, my yeah, now too.
Don't teleport everywhere.
Your lesson plan is to navigate your way back home. See you later.
Yeah, well, go over here.
I'll do that.
Get over here, Shy. Mash.
There you go. Okay. Let's start with an easy question. Does anyone know what we're going to be training tonight? I think there's a few examples around.
Tricky one.
Yeah. Any guesses?
Having to do with camouflage? Convoy.
Not quite. Convoys, yes, good stuff. So, and the aim tonight is that by the end of this training, all you section members will be able to effectively participate in convoy operations. And we're doing this because we've had some issues regarding convoys recently. Admittedly, a lot of those have been at the command level, but there is stuff to work at on the section level as well. And it's very important because convoys are going to be very important in the campaign and all of the future six operations. We use vehicles a lot more than helicopters and SEAL 30s parachuting at the moment. So very important, and it's quite easy to remember. It's fairly simple. A lot of parallels with the infantry formations, so there aren't many excuses. After tonight, you should all be very competent at it and able to bully new recruits into doing the right thing, in a friendly bullying manner, of course. Don't solicit mean bullying now, do we? So, where do we begin? Changing tabs, 1 second. So we're going to start with the structure, the overall structure of the convoy. Does anyone want to tell me what the 3 elements of a convoy are? No ICs, please. Stand up if you think you got the answer.
Wait, is that count as me because I'm 2 ICs?
You're not an NCO, so you're
Okay.
fine. Ward stood up first. Let's let him start things off.
Well, all your most important elements like command generally sit in the middle. Reason being is that you've got the front and the back ends are there as your guard. So
Let's start with the names for now, Ward. Don't worry about explanations. I'll go into those.
Okay, I'll sit down then.
Okay, Barry.
Scout, main body, and trail.
Okay, good answer. I hope you're not one of the 3 other people reading the SCP.
That's the names.
Yes, it is. Good stuff.
Busted.
Just to advise you all, if you do want to go to the Convoy SOP, there are some very useful pictures. I mean, you might have some of the questions spoilt on yourself. I'll try to come up with some other ones as well, because this isn't fully comprehensive. But as we get further down onto formations especially, I've got examples here on the roads, but can be quite hard to see things in perspective, so there's some useful top-down graphics that I might post in the TeamSpeak chat as well, but I'd recommend looking at them. Anyway, yes, so Scout, Main Body and Trail. Good job, Perry, as long as you weren't cheating. Does anyone want to hazard a guess as to what the Scout unit would be composed of and what it would be doing?
Ricky?
Yes, could go on. Is that yeah, Hardwick, go.
I was assuming primarily Reke, but aside from that, 1-1, 1-2, because normally there's both us in front of the command and then there's FSG at the rear. So
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
what will they be doing? Raki's correct. What will they be doing there?
Oh, what they
Why,
would be
why are
doing.
they forwards doing scouty shit?
Why do you do scouty shit? To observe, have a look out for IEDs, enemy contacts, relay information back to the rest of the platoon.
That's actually a very good answer. The scout isn't actually part of the main convoy. They will be with to one. They will be on our convoy net. They'll be relaying stuff back to us, but they will be separated from us and have slightly larger normal spacing. And they're up ahead of us on the road doing reconnaissance, as Hardwick said. There is an early warning system to give us more time to react to IEDs, trigger ambushes, spot enemy contacts, spot hazards in the road ahead. I'm sure Dave could tell us all about hazards while driving. But that's what the reconnaissance vehicles up there for, in the scouting element, and that's very important. We've been misusing the scouting element a bit recently. They're over there. We then ended up shooting one of them, so let's try not to have that happen again. But scouting element's important. We're going to be communicating with them a lot more than we have in the past, and as there's going to be lots of IEDs, etc. in the coming campaign, it's going to be very important that we keep up good lines of communication with them, okay? Now, about the main body, who do we think is going to be in the main body, and why are they here? Not what are they doing, because it's pretty obvious they're just the main body, but why are they in the main body? Walker, go.
It kind of goes without saying in the name. It's the main body, it's the main part of the convoy, whether that's infantry moving or logistics moving supplies or engineers moving whatever they're moving. It's the purpose of the convoys in the middle. Prisoners, other infantry, a VIP, whoever it may be is in the middle, and you tend to work outwards from out to in from the least to the most important vehicle. So the least important vehicles at the start and the end, moving into the most valuable at the centre.
Yes, it's not just that, but also other things that go into it are the amount of firepower the vehicle has and the armour, etc.
Yes, of course, but
otherwise, yes, that's a good comment. And the main body would also be where we have soft vehicles like Hemmets or Land Rovers, excluding FSG's one. No, FSG's 1.5's one. So it's very important that we have these vehicles in the middle where they're safer, because they have the scouts and the trail vehicles to keep them safe, as those vehicles will probably be heavily armoured and have more firepower. So it's where the squishy stuff that we need to ensure doesn't get hit from vehicles coming up our rear or hazards in front of us. That's what goes in the main body, and that's where the platoon will always be. Unless the convoy is very small, then we might have a vehicle in the trailer element. Usually, if it's just a platoon convoy, I won't have a scout element. Number of vehicles, etc. That's really 1.5's calling. But we'll see. So you're going to get used to being in the main body, and if we are in soft vehicles like the Hemmet, or no, the man truck that we had last operation, you're going to be there to keep you safe, okay? And finally, onto the trail vehicles. Set off at the same time. Let's have Perry.
Normally at the back is support vehicles. Apart from the very end vehicle will be some sort of heavily armoured to provide like a rear security sort of thing. So it will have a big firepower and normally heavily armoured.
Yes, it will. In the vehicle goes all the support stuff like 5.2, potentially ambulances if we ever get Mert going again. Mitchell, I don't know if you actually used to be in the trail or the main body when we did convoys with you, but it is possible.
We were in the centre with you guys.
Okay, well it is possible to have them in the trail, though as the ambulance is usually quite soft skinned, I probably tend to have it in the main body. The trail will make it safer from the front, but if anything comes up from behind, you don't want your ambulance getting blown up. And as Perry rightly pointed out, we need to have a vehicle like Echo 5's, which isn't that heavily armoured compared to the Ridge-Rats, for example, but has a lot of firepower. They have the most firepower out of any of us, arguably, so having them at the back is a good idea. They can keep us safe. So that's it for Convoy structure. Just to summarise things, the Scout is moving 1 to 200 metres further ahead than normal spacing, and is looking for threats and hazards in the road ahead so they can fall back and we can react to them in better time. The main body is where Will will be. It's where the things we need to keep safe are. It's the maximum protection from the front and the rear. It's fairly safe. HQ will be there too. All the normal stuff. And then the trail vehicles will be support stuff and the rear guard. And that will keep us safe from technicals coming up behind us or whatever. Any questions about convoy structure then? That's easy. Good, we can move on. Sorry, this is going to be quite theory dense at the start because we need to go through everything before we can really start practicing. Otherwise, we're just going to get on the road and we're not going to be able to do certain things. So I'll try to get through it as fast as possible, but we could be at some time. Taking notes or whatever is probably a good idea. Now, going on to the 3 things you should really be worrying about as we're on the move. 3 things you should be worrying about the most, which are speed, spacings, and covering arcs. Start with speeds. Can anyone tell me what speeds we should be moving at in a town and outside of a town? What range of speeds you think is sensible, and why? We'll have Dage because I don't think he's asked any yet.
In open terrain, you'd be between 70 and 80 miles per hour. Is it miles per hour in these?
Yeah, it's kilometres, but yeah.
Yeah, and in urban you'd be 20 to 40. Obviously, if there's ID threats, you would space it out a little bit more as well.
There is one more category of speeds, arguably. What do you think that is, Dave?
Not sure about that one.
Quibble? Quibble?
Hello, would that be escape speed?
Yes. What kind of speeds are we looking at there, and why would we be going that fast?
I'd say as fast as you can go, unless there's a set speed. Mortars, heavy armour coming at you. Things you can't deal with, just get away from it.
Good answer. We'll just talk about the escape speeds quickly as it's been raised. You'll be going as fast as the first vehicle, because you obviously don't want to leave anyone behind, and you'll go up to the speed if you get
User
engaged,
in your channel
and,
timed out.
The vehicle hasn't been destroyed, so you want to get out of the dangerous situation of perhaps an ambush kill zone or an area with IEDs trying to block you in. You want to get out of there as fast as possible, so there's no point religiously going on at 70 whilst you're getting shot to shit. You'll go at maximum speed and
User joined your channel.
You'll start firing as much as possible, especially from the 50s, etc., because you're very, very low recoil because you're kind of mounted, so you can continuously put out rapid fire. You don't need to run bursts or anything until you're either out of there or the targets are dead or so suppressed that they're no longer a threat. The drawback to this is, can anyone give me a drawback to firing for ages at rapid fire, willy-nilly off into the surroundings? Ward?
Collateral?
That too, especially if there's civilians around, but for us, a slightly more pressing concern. What happens when you fire lots of bullets?
You run out of lots of bullets.
Yes, especially in these vehicles. These vehicles are a pain in the arse to rearm. To local, please, but yes, Walker?
Oh, sorry. Quick question in relation to... I know we do... If we hit an ID, the usual plan is to drive through and drive on as fast as we can. Pick up whoever can jump out and drive on. But, is there an argument for staying still?
You will find out, actually, because it's dependent on whether all the vehicles are mobile, etc. We'll get on to that.
Okay,
but,
sorry. I'm jumping
anyway,
ahead.
yeah, so that's just talking about the speeds. So we'll go back to Dash's answers. 20 to 40 is about right. Maybe 20 is a bit low unless there's some heavy corners. So I'd slightly more towards 30. I'll call 30 in a town personally, and outside of urban areas. If we were at 50 on that because of the oncoming American vehicles. 50 is a sensible, slower end of the spectrum speed for outside of urban environments. and 70 is what we normally go at, but 80 has its merits too, especially if we want to get somewhere slightly faster. But those speeds are all good, so just to summarise, in urban areas, 30 to 40 kilometers per hour really, outside of them 50 to 80, and if we're trying to escape because we've been engaged or whatever, as fast as the slowest vehicle. Any questions? Good. Now on to spacing. Can anyone tell me why it's quite important to have a lot of spacing between vehicles, especially in Arma 3? Easy one. Hardware.
IEDs, other explosive threats such as shoulder-mounted rockets, basically anything that could potentially make vehicles go boom, and we'd rather limit it to one vehicle going boom rather than the entire convoy.
Yes, explained in simple terms, good stuff. But I was thinking of another reason as well, which is slightly more relevant to ArmA. I saw Underwood shoot up there. What is it?
Each other!
Yes! So, I don't know which one of you it is, but someone has really hit internet and I've nearly hit the back of you about 7 times. So...
I think it's Daesh.
Yeah, rubber banding can be a big issue. Having to suddenly stop because you see an ID on the road and you haven't had time to call it in yet. All of these things mean it's important to keep spacing up, because what's the point in having this fancy convoy if the first time one of us has to stop, there's a massive pile up and all the vehicles lose their tyres? That would be quite embarrassing now, wouldn't it?
It'd be rather entertaining from the outside, though.
It would be, but not for me. I was using lag formation. No, we'll go on to... If you've got the correct amount of spacing, there should be no issues whatsoever from lag, unless someone actually... Their computer actually blows up and they end up being stationary with the wheel spinning for 30 seconds, because that has happened before.
Okay.
Anyway, having that spacing, as I've already said, and Hardwick said, it helps us avoid more casualties being taken if we hit an explosive or we get hit by an explosive. As he said, only one vehicle will be affected rather than multiple ones, and one vehicle is much easier to deal with. We can maybe change the tyres and get it moving again if we have time and the situation allows it. Otherwise, 2 or 3 vehicles, that would be impossible to repair them all. And the spacing, as I've already said, helps you to react very quickly to sudden changes like lag, or someone crashing into a tree, or someone crashing into an Abrams. All of the above. So if we have the incorrect spacing, it could go horribly wrong, and I will be very mean about it and call it on the net and maybe call you shit. Okay? So, estimations for the kind of spacing we want in open terrain and urban environment. Any takers? Walker.
Well, it's like usual braking distances for cars, what, like 40 metres? But it's longer than that. 40 metres.
Okay, I've asked for urban and outside
urban's
urban
like less, so like 20 to 40. Because you want to be close enough to be able to not lose sight of each other around corners and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
On open roads, you're generally driving faster, so need more distance between you. For braking distance and lag issues and that kind of thing. So like 40 to 70, I guess.
Yes, only a fool breaks the 2-second rule, all that stuff. Keep up the spacing if you're going faster, up the spacing. Those were perfect answers. They are on the SOP as 40, 70 outside of urban environments and 20 to 40 in them. I'd be tempted to say 40 to 100 outside of towns isn't too big a deal. But when you start getting over 100, the convoy starts getting very drawn out, so definitely not over 100, and that's, as it is, 100 is on the space side. And then in urban environments, as you've already said, lots of houses, lots of avenues to be attacked from. We're travelling much slower anyway. We want to be all together in case we start getting hit, so we don't get strung out. And in theory, if we're all in a town together with 100 metre spacing and a vehicle at the back gets blown up, we'll hear the explosion, but we won't have a fucking clue what's going on if they've all died. We'd have to actually go back and find out, and that would be very not a good idea, because at that point you're walking into a no-no. Yeah, I mean, just bad in every way, really. So 40-70 or 40 to 100 outside of towns. and 20 to 40 in urban environments is good. But as I said, 20 might be a bit close if you're travelling at 30 to 40 kilometers an hour, because whoever it is that lags so much, you will possibly hit them. So any questions about that? And just to see who's been listening, let's go back and ask a random question. What speed should we be going at inside an urban area? Who should I pick on? No, I don't want volunteers for this one. Let's ask Jurgens, our sort of recruit, but isn't really a recruit. Speed inside an urban environment.
It should be around 30 to 40 kilometers per hour.
Perfect. Someone's listening. Don't worry, Fox. I'll pick on you later.
I'm picking my countrymen.
He's from the same country.
Yes, we are.
Ooh.
Yeah, we have a replacement yoga.
Okay, well, we're done on speed and spacing then. Let's go to covering arcs. Then we'll summarise briefly and we'll get on to formations. We can use these big examples and walk around a bit instead of just sitting here listening to my lovely monotone voice. So covering arcs is very important. You know all about it as an infantryman. It's exactly the same in vehicles. It's a lot easier to do as well because you're a very defined area that you should be watching. You'll have basically a 180-degree arc no matter where you are in the convoy as a gunner, and passengers as well if you're able to shoot out the vehicle. So kind of on the ridgebacks and the back hatches, but I don't like seeing people out there because it's very easy to get shot and you don't really do much. But which arc you actually cover is decided by where you are in the convoy, and you obviously don't need to worry about them, as I've said, if your vehicle doesn't have a weapon. Yours all will though, so it's fine. But it doesn't matter if you're not the gunner, you should still be watching that arc with your eyes, trying to spot targets if you're a passenger with no way to fire, because maybe you'll see something that the gunner doesn't, and alert the rest of the convoy and give us some extra time to react. So, in a herringbone, which arcs would, if we had a convoy of 4 vehicles, which arcs would they be covering? Let's go for Daish, because Walker and Hardwick have answered quite a few already.
Yeah, sorry, my mum's all kicking off in the background, but you'd go front. She knows the answer. Front vehicle would be facing forward, and then it would be left, right, and then rear.
Yes, good stuff.
Sorry.
No
Definitely
problem.
someone locked in his basement.
It's Maddie, not Maddie.
I will actually post this picture in chat, and then we'll have a look at the example when we get onto the herringbone itself. But where's this image? Let me just find it.
Does it look like that?
It does, and this allows you to see it from the top down. So in a normal infantry herringbone of 4 guys, what direction would they be facing? This is quite an easy one, isn't it?
What direction is the baby facing?
What would they be facing? At the start of a mission, when we're all there in a herringbone, talking and yelling and driving the head in, where would they be facing? That's right. The guy at the front would be facing forwards, the guy at the rear would be facing backwards, and then you'd have left, right, and if you did a section of 8, it would be forwards, left, right, left, right, left, right, and then backwards. I think that's 8. Who knows? So it's exactly the same for convoys, and it operates on the same principle. If we had more than 4 vehicles, you would have the front vehicle watching forwards, and then obviously you don't want the second vehicle watching forwards, or you'd end up shooting friendlies. It would be recce, so who minds? We've already done that. But no, second vehicle should be watching left, and then right, and so on. So we have 360 coverage. This does mean that just like in a column, we're much better by fighting the sides, and if we do get threats in front and rear, it's a bit more of an issue, but we're travelling down the road anyway, so threats in front and rear are a lot more of an immediate concern to the convoy because we have to drive around them and move to avoid them, whereas if it's to our side we can just spray lots of guns at them and drive through. But this does lead us to an important point, which is if you do get engaged from the right, for example, and you're moving in a convoy, Only the guys whose arcs are on the right should be shooting right. The guys on the left should continue looking left. Does anyone want to tell me why this is a big deal, especially in vehicles? Jurgens.
Slow rotating speed of the turret.
Yes. If we got engaged from the right and everyone turned their guns around, which takes 5-10 seconds as it is, and then a second ambush on the left kicked off, we'd now have all our guns facing one way, and it would be at least 10 seconds before we got anyone firing towards the left again. So it doesn't matter, even if you see, fucking a company of infantry standing in a line waiting to be mowed down by your HMG to your right, and you're facing left, then you keep facing left, and leave it for the guys on the right to deal with, because our priority at that point isn't to kill them all, it's to get out of there as fast as possible, because we could be in a kill zone, there could be IDs, we just don't want to be somewhere stationary, especially as if it is an ambush or whatever, they could actually have the location zeroed in by mortars, so the second we arrive they could start accurately mortaring us. So watching arcs is very important, and an easy way to remember which arc your vehicle should be covering is, especially if you're far back, is that if you are a victor with an even number, you'll be watching the left, and if you have an odd number, you'll be watching the right, unless you are victor 1 or whatever the last victor is, because then obviously you'll be watching the front and rear respectively. Does that all make sense? So, we've just finished speed spacing and covering arcs, so just in summary, speeds in an urban area 30 to 40 kilometers an hour, speeds outside of an urban area are 50 to 80, and if you start taking contact, it's as fast as the first vehicle. Spacing, it is 20 to 40 in an urban environment, 40 to 70 outside of an urban environment, but it can be a bit longer depending on lag or whatever. And for covering arcs, it's forwards, left, right, rear, same as a normal herringbone. So we're done there, and now on to formations. So we're going to start with the herringbone formation. Let's go have a look at it, and then you can try and tell me the strength of it or whatever, and then I'll tell you all about it afterwards. So let's just have a wander down. Obviously we're approaching it in the opposite direction from where we're travelling in. So
You're enjoying yourselves here?
Yeah, we're just
having a
shit.
That's just the Land Rover by itself. And now we're on to the main body. You can see we have Victor 2, which is the Ridgeback. This might be Airborne 1, for example. And then you have Victor 3, which is HQ. Victor 4 would be the other section, 1, 2 in this case. And then at the very rear you have the Trail, which is Convoy 2. So let's stop here in the middle of it, and can anyone tell me things they might have spotted or whatever about this? Okay, so Walker, yes, it's a Walker.
On the left side of the road, you have 3 soft-skinned vehicles, and on the right side, you have 2 hard-skinned vehicles.
Not really.
Well, harder-skinned vehicles than
yes.
a Coyote, Command, and Scout.
No, what I meant was broken hard-skin vehicles.
Yes. Well, that's actually a good point to raise. Obviously, if we had another section, things would be changing around, but yeah, we have 3 vehicles on the left, but there'll be fewer, combat guys in them, so that is a trade-off. Fortunately, there's an extra vehicle there, and on the right will be where most of the infantry is. That is a very good point. I didn't actually spot that. I was mainly looking for points about the formation. This is a herringbone formation. I'll just go through it. It's fine. This is a herringbone formation. We use it when we come to a stop, unless there's another formation we use when stopping, which is the coil, but we'll start with the herringbone for now. We use it because it ensures that the vehicles are spread out fairly equally on either side of the road. So in this case, as you pointed out, Walker, the right would have a lot more guys on it, and we form the convoy as we're stopping. So the lead vehicle will decide which side it turns to. Usually, if it's on a clear, open stretch of road like this, it'll be left, right, because we always get left first. But if there is an obstruction on the right side of the road or whatever, or there's very poor vision there, they might decide to stop on the right, and this doesn't matter. If you're in the vehicle behind you just stop on the opposite side of the road. So we have a, left, right, or right, left. As long as you're on alternating sides, it doesn't matter, really. But don't be on the same side of the vehicle in front or behind, because then you're an idiot. Though if it's the vehicle behind you that's on the same side as you, then they're the idiots. So you get to call them idiots instead. Okay? So in this case, Recce will always be deciding how the rest of the convoy forms the herringbone, because they'll be the ones that are stopping on either the left or the right. But then we just follow them in, basically. When we stop like this, if we're stopping for a fairly short stretch of time, we probably perform a soft dismount. We'll get onto that later, what that is. If we're stopping for a while, we'd probably do a hard dismount. If we were really only stopping for 5 seconds, we might not even dismount at all, but that's very rare. Usually, 99% of the time when we stop in a formation like this, it's going to be for as short a time as possible, and we're going to form a soft dismount just in case. So when I actually call for the soft dismount on the convoy net, I will include soft dismount in the order, unless I'm an idiot, at which point Spittle or Mikhail or Mitchell or any of these lovely people will tell me so, and I'll sort it out and get a dismount order called, okay? There is an image for this, but I've just shown you this formation, so it makes quite a lot of sense. When you dismount in a hard or soft dismount, you will form a semi-ARD on the side of the road you're already on. So, for example, this red back, if 1-2 had got out of this red back, they would then form a semi-ARD, which is obviously a semicircle.
User in your channel timed out.
Facing on the right-hand side of the road. So you wouldn't have to worry at all about the left-hand side of the road, because you have Echo 5-2 and 1-5 doing that for you, and HQ. Does that make sense? So your arc just does not include the opposite side of the road. If you are ever the front or lead vehicle, you will have to be covering that arc too. Make sense? Harryman's the easy one. No questions. We'll move on to the coil. Anything? Bill, have you got something, or have you just stood up?
No, I just stood up because I thought we were going back.
Good, yes we are. You're correct. Follow me, everyone. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Recce being extra stealthy from bus here.
Dun 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 dun.
Da 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 da.
I can't see where they went.
Da 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 da.
Dun 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 dun.
McFlyer, be careful, he's coming for your ass.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh wait, we're there.
Oh, doesn't time fly?
I know.
Doesn't fly time.
Are we there yet?
Come over here, Evan. You can have 10 seconds to look around quickly, just so you can familiarise yourself with what's going on. Obviously, the direction of travel here is southwest, so take that as you will for future questions. Same as before, same direction of travel.
User joined your channel.
The Warmakers once again Victor 1, and Command Vehicle Victor 3, and the Ridgebacks are Victors 2, 4, and the Jackal or Coyote even Victor 5.
I remember when you did this in Cossack, and I mortared you, and you all hid underneath the vehicles.
Yes, I mean I think you would too if you'd been mortared. But anyway, I mentioned it earlier. But can anyone tell me what this formation is called? Walker.
It's a coil.
Yes, it is. And what is it?
Just
Do you want to ask that, Walker?
Yeah, it's an ARD for vehicles.
Basically, yeah. So, as you can see, this shape is a circle. What other formation that we infantry do as a circle? Anyone?
Yeah. We've been using them lately as well.
An ARD.
Yeah,
Roach, could you get off? Is that Viking or Roach? Could you get off yelling, please? Hello?
Killed this computer.
Yes, go on yelling. 1 second.
Remember that up on stealth?
Could you move it further away, please? We can hear you, thank you. There we go. So, it is a vehicle ARD. Now, how would this thing have been formed? I've given you a few little hints. So, what vehicles, where would they go, in what order? I've given you a few hints insofar as I've told you which victors everything is. where would the first vehicle go, where would the second vehicle go, etc. Any takers? Underwood, are you standing up?
Yeah.
Cool.
So you'd have Victor 1, which would more likely be Reki at the front. You'd have the last Victor parked facing the opposite direction as to where you've gone, or come from, sorry, to give rear security. And then you'd have, depending on how many cars, you'd have, let's say, 2 and 4 parking left and right, and obviously extras covering the sides, and then you'd have the main body of the convoy in the centre, such as the command vehicle there.
Yeah. Usually we don't really want to put anything in the centre because we could be mortared or whatever. It makes everything very close together and compressed. But when we have 5 vehicles and it's a command vehicle, it can happen. And if we have a soft skin vehicle like an ambulance we want to keep protected, it's probably a good place to put it. But if we were on a junction with perhaps 5 roads coming in theory... Oh, spittle.
Yeah, I was turning my mic back on.
You became a tornado briefly.
It does
But
that.
anyway, if we had 5 roads, for example, we might have a vehicle on all 5 of the roads. This vehicle ARD is good for when we're going to be in a position like a crossroads for an extended period of time, because it's very defensible. We have a 50 cal pointed in every direction, and we have fairly equal amounts of fire on all sides, rather than just having a lot more at the left and right as with a herringbone. It takes a little bit longer to form, and it takes a little bit longer to deconstruct as well, rather than just getting back on the road and driving. You have to turn the vehicle around or whatever. But rule of thumb, that's when we form one of these. The first vehicle goes forwards to the front. The second vehicle would pull right or left. Usually, I'd say left. The SCP says right, but it's easy if we do everything to the left first. And then the third vehicle would pull to the right, and the last vehicle would turn around and cover the rear. So, just to go through that again, that's forwards, left, right, rear. Pretty simple, standard stuff. In this case, command would be just sitting in the middle while you guys got around it and form this thing. And then we would probably hard dismount and get our ARD set up with guys watching every direction. There are circumstances where the terrain might be unfavourable for this. Like if we have a bunch of reeds or whatever, I don't know why we'd want to stop there anyway, but there's no point pointing 50 cals into the woods or into houses or whatever. I'd say usually we use this on a crossroads or when we need to stop for ages. The herringbone is a lot more of a quick and easy thing to form if we need to halt in a hurry. Okay? So now we get on to the actions on contact, IDs, etc. I had a question about this earlier. I think it was it Walker?
Yes.
Yes.
I have a question.
Well, we'll go through this one a bit faster. We've already done mention the contacts, etc. So it's a bit more simple. But what does anyone think we should do if we take just small arms contact fire, or even RPGs, whatever? What should we do if we take contact? Let's have Mitchell. Let's have a
you would push through.
Yes. If we start getting shot at, as I've already said, speeds, you'll start going as fast as the first vehicle. So if you have a Hemmet or whatever with the convoy, that could only be about 80 or whatever, which is pretty much normal speeds, but you'd be holding shift and trying to go as fast as you can, get out of the kill zone if it's an ambush, with IDs, etc. If it's a patrol or whatever, and therefore the mission allows it, we're out to hunt down enemies and kill them. It is possible that 400 or 500 meters down the road, when it's safer and we're probably not in a kill zone, we can dismount, push back, and kill the contacts that are engaging us. But if we start getting engaged out of the blue, it's on their terms. We want to get out of the situation. We don't know what's to come. We just want to get out of there, so that we can't be mortared because they have a zero. We can't be ID'd. We can't be ambushed. We're just running. Okay. However, if a vehicle gets immobilized, so wheels get shut off, or a vehicle goes BD alpha, then we need to stop, because at this point we have, for example, if 1-1 got their wheels neutralised, we would just be leaving a section there in a kill zone by themselves to die. So we'd stop in a hurry, maybe try and form a coil, or if the contact wasn't that heavy, and then we would, if the vehicle's completely fucked and there's too many contacts, we'll just load them up and we'll try and get out of there, as previously mentioned. If the contacts are fairly light, we might try and fight them off and then get out after, maybe even trying to repair the vehicle. But the priority is always getting out if possible, and we'll only stick around if the circumstances don't allow any other possibility. Perry, did you have a question?
Yeah. What if we're taking really heavy fire when a vehicle goes down?
If a vehicle
if we're gonna stay, and possibility of us staying is probably all of us to get wiped out, would we just push through and leave the section behind, or would we still stop?
It's very situational, and it depends on the individual. But usually, we don't want to leave people there to die. We want to try and assist them. If it's really heavy, I would prioritise stopping, getting as much fire as possible out, maybe with a hard dismount, and loading casualties, whatever, into vehicles, and then getting out of there. Because we don't want to leave people behind. At that point, we just abandon the vehicle and we go for the guys. If a vehicle explodes and we stop, and then quickly within 5 or 10 seconds realise they're definitely all dead, there's no survivors, it's all corpses, we could just start proceeding again. Then we don't have to stop and try and fight them off. We're also trying to get out of there. It's just if the vehicle is immobilised, we don't want to leave the occupants. So that's what I was trying to do on that mission with Recce when they got ambushed. I was trying to stop, pick them up, and then get out of there. But unfortunately, things didn't end up like that. If that ever happened again, with Recce caught so far ahead like that, we'd probably stop at a distance and then move in on foot on our terms and try to sort the position. But if it's an ambush or whatever, we're going to be in the situation anyway. We don't have time to... We might not have time, especially with contacts, to move away and then move back in and assault. Though that is a possibility, but it's really heavy and the terrain is really bad and it's definitely an ambush. Yeah. Basically, Perry, it's all situational. I can't give you a black and white answer. It depends on the convoy commander.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And all of these factors. But there are only two options really, which is if it's heavy, it's either get out of there as soon as possible when you picked up the guys, or if it's looking bad, as in they're all unconscious or whatever anyway, then maybe you could move a bit further away and move back in. But standing and fighting them all off, if it's a heavy number of contacts in an ambush, is out of the question. If it's a lone shooter and he fires an RPG or whatever, then maybe it's a possibility. But as a matter of principle, if a vehicle isn't immobilised, we get out of there. If it is immobilised, we try to help it in whatever way is most beneficial to. Okay.
Yep.
And I'm sure if you asked Bailey or Gray the same question, they'd have slightly different answers too. So yeah, any more questions about contact before we move on to IDs? So, if we encounter an ID and everything's perfect, no contacts or engagements or whatever, it's in the middle of the road, so we can't, especially in an urban environment, if it's in the middle of the road, there are no alternate routes and we can't get around it, then we're going to stop, set up as if we're going to be in a fixed position, coil, herringbone, whatever's easiest, and then probably have Echo 5-2 move up and attempt to defuse it, or could do a controlled death to destroy it. But if we're on an urban road and we don't have orders to remove all IDs regardless of where they are, we're going to avoid them. So that is the ideal scenario. If we have no reason to stop for an ID, we'll drive off the road to the side. Victor 1 will tell us it's there, and then someone will call, Victor 1 moving right to avoid ID in the road. The convoy will follow and we won't even break stride. If that's impossible, or as I've said, we've been told we have to remove all IDs, then we will have to stop, as I've already said, herringbone, coil, whatever, and we'll see about diffusing it from a sensible position. But if it is in a town and there is another road available, then we'll probably try and just use an alternate route. We'll get on to plotting alternate routes later, but there will always be at least one detour, possible detour. So if that detour is available to you, then yeah, avoiding IDs is always preferential, because as I've said, they could be part of the kill zone or whatever, so we don't really want to stop unless we're forced to by its positioning or by our orders. Okay. Any questions about that one? Good. And then actions on prolonged static situations. So if a tyre's been damaged because someone hit a tree, Walker, are you talking? I can see.
Sorry, I thought we were. I missed my opportunity. I thought we were going to move on to. I know that's kind of what the procedure is if we spot one.
If we
what's
get
the
hit by
procedure
one,
if we hit one?
it's the same as contact. At that point, it doesn't matter if it's an RPG or the ID has. It's an ID that's exploded. The vehicle's been immobilised, so we go back to actions on contact. At that point, we're now on contact. It's treated as a contact situation. It doesn't have to be a guy with a gun for it to be contact. So I should have specified that if a vehicle's immobilised by an ID, it's exactly the same as if it's immobilised by an RPG or a gunman or whatever. If possible, we want to halt and try and help that guy who has been immobilised. If that's impossible, then we might have to move on and come back afterwards. So it's the same as contact. I'm just talking about actions on spotting an ID now, not taking an ID blast, because that's taking contact. Okay.
I had a thought about it. My only comment on it is from a realism standpoint. If in reality, if a vehicle got hit, it's not always going to explode. It might just be an axle damaged or a wheel blown off kind of thing, especially with the ridgebacks. But what if there's a secondary device that's going to go off? What if there's another one 10 yards up the road? Driving through it just seems like a bit of a gamble.
Yeah.
Or having your guys jump out and run across the nearest vehicle if there's an anti-personnel mine next to them.
Yeah, that's a good point. The problem is, when it comes to stuff like that, if there's vehicle ID secondaries further down the road, and then you instantly just try to avoid, try to get past because this vehicle's been immobilised, then you could get hit by those. You're right, if people dismount to assist, they could get hit by an anti-personnel mine. The only thing that can avoid any of these situations is vigilance, and keeping an eye out for them, and recce, calling them in and trying to spot them as far in advance as possible.
User joined your channel.
And depending on whether we're in a town, whether we're in heavy contact, all of these things will dictate how we actually respond to the IDs or any other form of contact. I can only give you guidelines and roughly when to use them. It's up to the convoy commander what's going to be used in that situation, and he might make the wrong decision based on lack of information, based on incompetence, whatever, but we just have to roll with that. Don't second guess it, and learning experience will figure out if it's the right decision or not pretty quickly, and next time we come up in a situation like that, we'll probably act differently, if that makes sense.
Yep. Cool. It was just a comment or an observation more than anything.
Always be careful about secondaries when you're near IDs. I love them, and as I'm going to be Zeusing later, I give you that information to do with this you please, but just because one's blown up doesn't mean you're safe. If that one was in the middle of the road and you didn't spot it because you're blind, there I could very well have put one in the grass, 20 metres away if you're trying to avoid it. It's a very possible situation. And there could be an ambush at the same time too. Don't try to second guess things, don't try to think, I'm safe now, the contact's happened, it's passed, and we just have to react to it. Always be on your toes, always be on the lookout, and secondaries can be a bitch. Anything else? Good. So finally, just actions on prolonged static situations. We've been over this a bit already, talking about vehicles being immobilised or whatever. If we're going to be in the same place for a long period of time, everyone needs to hard dismount. If the convoy commander's forgotten to call this, then and you're sitting in a vehicle for a minute or two, feel free to just give your section commanders a poke, or section commanders give me or the other convoy commanders, or the other convoy, whoever the convoy commander is. Feel free to give them a poke and remind them that you're sitting there and you've been here for so long, it might be worth a hard dismount, because that means that everyone except the gunner will be able to set up a perimeter and ensure that everything is safe, and with as many pairs of eyes and as many barrels pointing out from our location as possible until the situation is dealt with. No matter what it is, be it casualties, damaged vehicles, or FSG blowing up an ID. Does that make sense? Okay, we'll go on to disembarking procedures. I'll ask a bit more questions here. I've already mentioned hard and soft dismounts throughout the training, and there is a full dismount too. Yeah, so can anyone tell me what a soft dismount is? Underwood stood up first.
Soft dismount is everyone but the driver and the gunner.
Yes. Let's have hard dismount. I haven't been in the war for a while.
Everybody but the gunner get out.
Yes. And then, can anyone guess what a full dismount is? This is the tough one. Let's have Edward.
Does everyone get out?
Yes. So, just to go over what they are in a little detail. The soft dismount, as you've already said, we leave the driver and gunner in. This is useful when we have to be able to move fast, or to move out fast whenever the situation has been resolved and we get moving again. So if we've stopped to get intel and plan what we're doing next, and we're only going to stop for 30 seconds, or we're picking up casualties from an immobilised vehicle, then we'll probably get in a soft dismount so the driver's there ready, we can get everything shipshape and we can get on the move again as soon as possible. Obviously this isn't as much firepower as the hard dismount because you have an extra, you have drivers in all the vehicles who could be out shooting things, but if we need to get out of there in a hurry, soft dismount is what we do. Hard dismount, as I said, we do that in when we're stationary for a long period of time, or if we're in a dangerous area where we might have to react to contact, and there could be quite a lot of contact, but we don't need to get out of there in a hurry. So this means that obviously the driver has to get back in and back around before we can get moving again, but we have those extra guns out on the ARD so it's safer. And a full dismount is when we just completely abandon the vehicles. This might be for mission tasking or whatever, but be careful, because if you come back to it later, there might be an ID in it now, or it might have been stolen. So preferably we keep people in the vehicles at all times, unless we have to abandon. We have to abandon them because it's been damaged or whatever. Any questions about the dismount times before we proceed? We're nearly done, don't worry, then we can actually get started. We've been here about 40 minutes, sorry. But, we need to have all this now before we can get out of here. Because otherwise we'll just have holes in our knowledge and the convo.
Microphone muted.
Just a quick link. I've already mentioned what arc you should be watching when you dismount in a herringbone and same for recoil. When you dismount, hard dismount or soft dismount, you should be in a semi-ARD facing the same direction as the direction the vehicle's facing. But ensure you get at least 20 metres away from the vehicle if possible, because what's going to happen if someone fires an RPG at your vehicle and it blows up and you're all clustered around it using its cover, or in the tightest semi-ARD I've ever seen? Anyone hazard a guess? Underwood.
Death.
Yes. If the vehicle blows up, you're all going to blow up with it. So make sure you keep that spacing up, not just in the vehicles when we're in a convoy, but when you're operating around the vehicles. If you think about it, if someone has an explosive weapon, then your vehicle just becomes an additional bomb. So, we're going to go on to route planning, just because you drivers will need to know what it is. The section IC should know all this anyway, and they're the ones that might ever have to plot a route, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But for you drivers, yeah, we're just going to skip the planning stage of the routes because you don't need to worry about that. But what stuff means. So a black dot or black markers mean the main route or main objectives, all the main stuff. So this is what we're going to be doing in an ideal world. If you see any blue markers, this means it's an alternative route, and if there is a third alternative route, that will be green. So blue and green basically mean if circumstances dictate we can't use the main road, for example IDs, ambushes, known contacts, will use this additional route in a hurry if it's accessible, if we can get to it quickly. Okay? And the times you'll see these colour markers are at any road junction. If you open your maps and just look to the northeast, I'm just going to put a marker down, an example marker. It's in blue, so that would basically mean when you get to that marker, you'll turn right and it's a secondary route, of course. So this would only be on a backup route if there are IDs or whatever in the way. So you don't really need to know much about them, except if there's a bunch of black markers on the road, and you are a driver, make sure you do what they say. R for left, R for right, L for left, S for straight. And if you see an RV, that's probably going to be where you're going, and an ERV will be an emergency rendezvous point for in case we get shot to shit and we need to move somewhere safe, like in the hills or in a forest somewhere to reorg. Okay? Additionally, if there's a really tight turn, for example, in the town of, where is it? Paros, to our southwest, you might see a marker that looks sort of like this. If you see a red marker like that, it means there is a hazard point. So it's for example, a tight turn, a very steep hill, something that could slow down the convoy or be a hassle, and that just allows all the drivers to plan it in advance and not be caught unawares. Does that make sense? Any questions about that? It's okay, there's only one section left. Communication protocol. Can anyone tell me what the convoy net is? It's incorrect on the SOP. Yes, 50.1. It's very important that we're all on the same net, despite the fact that Echo 5.2 or 1.5 obviously aren't, on the command net or whatever. We need to be able to communicate in a hurry, so 1.5 can pass information about what's ahead to the rest of us, or 5.2 can notify us that they're going to be detonating an ID or whatever. It's important. It's also so that's why it's important everyone's on the same net. But when we're actually on the fucking convoy net, it's important that we use proper radio protocols, because otherwise it's just going to be a bunch of people shouting at each other and nothing's ever going to get done, because you're all going to be talking about what you had for dinner or whatever. So, discipline, professionalism, it's very important that all these things are maintained. So every vehicle needs to have a representative on the platoon net, whether that's the commander, if you think your driver isn't quite serious enough to manage it, or perhaps be too distracted. So the commander would probably be a senior PFC, or this is far more likely an NCO, so you're 1 IC or 2 IC, and the commander will be dictating where the vehicle goes, what you're doing, making sure everything's going nicely, and either him or the driver will also be communicating with the rest of the vehicles. So we use the net for things like the following, which are position updates, contact reports. This is very important, so everyone knows exactly what's going on. Route adjustments, another important thing. If half the convoy turns left and half the convoy turns right down an alternate route, then you're split up, and we never like to be split up, do we? And also stuff like calls from the lead vehicle about directional changes, even if they're pre-planned and on the map. So Victor 1 turning right. I know you all love to say Victor 1 turning right, Victor 2 turning right. You don't need to. We only need the first vehicle and the last vehicle to be turning, because that just means that we know that the front of the convoy started turning, so all the other vehicles are warned, and the last vehicle turned, so we know we haven't lost them, or they've been blown up or hit an obstruction or whatever. But yeah, convoy command would also be telling people when we're stopping, hard dismounts, all these important things on radios. It's very important you stay clued in, so we don't have a classified situation which can result in unnecessary casualties. Any questions about why we use the convoy net before we go on to just a quick masterclass in transmission protocols? Anything? Good. Final thing, transmission protocols. Every vehicle in a convoy has a call sign. Would anyone like to? I've been using them all night, so this shouldn't be too difficult. Would anyone like to tell me what we call vehicles in the 6th? So what the call signs would be? Walker.
Vix, 1 through however many vehicles we've got.
Exactly. Bit to 1, bit to 2, bit to 3, bit to 4, bit to 5. In this case, the vehicles in this coil. And these vehicles will be numbered before the convoy moves out by the convoy commander, so there's no confusion, and he'll make sure that everyone knows where they are. So you'll be using these all night, so it's very important you remember them, because otherwise if I'm sitting here calling for Victor 2 all night and you think you're Victor 4, then nothing's going to happen, is it? But when transmitting, we use the same protocol as on platoon, or even company net, which is why vehicle commanders are a very good idea to designate as your radio operator, because they use platoon net all the time, so they should know how to say things, unless you're a numpty and say copy, and therefore I think you're a prick. So, an example conversation would be if I, the convoy commander, called all victors radio check by the numbers over. If we had 4 vehicles, we'd have the first vehicle say Victor 1, okay, out, and then Victor 2, okay, out, Victor 3, okay, out, and then Victor 4, which in this case is the last vehicle, would say something slightly different, just like in a road crossing or whatever. The last man, the last vehicle. It's always good to know that the last vehicle is doing everything that the other vehicles are doing too, because that means that you haven't lost anyone along the way. So Victor 4 will say, Victor 4, last Victor, okay, out. And then the convoy commander can acknowledge it with something along the lines of all heard, out, or whatever. Actually, I disagree with this SOP. It'd probably be easier to use Victor 1, okay, over, but we'll see. No, Victor 1, okay, out, actually. Sorry, you're hearing my internal voice. Let's go on to the final example conversation that we've done. This is a standard message. These will be used a lot more than the radio checks. For example, if I, Victor 3, want to contact Reki and ask them about something, or if Reki wants to call in and tell me that there's an ID head on the road, we might have a conversation like this, which would be, this is Reki, transmitting first. Victor 3, this is Victor 1, message over, to which I would reply. Victor 1, this is Victor 3, send message over. And then Victor 1 would respond with, Victor 3, potential ID, approximately 600 metres front in the middle of the road, over. And then I would acknowledge that with, Roger that, Victor 1, all Victors, convoy halt, soft dismount, out. Or a slightly different message depending on the circumstances surrounding the ID. But as you can see, that last message is important, because I have called for a convoy halt twice, and I have also already given you your orders as to what dismount you're going to perform when we become stationary, which will be a soft dismount. Okay, a lot of speaking. It's been about an hour. We don't need to do any more theory tonight, unless I see you being shit, and then I'll get you to halt and we'll form a school circle and talk about why you're shit. But we're done now. Any questions about anything we've done tonight? I will not bite. I prefer that we air them now rather than in 50 minutes when you've just crashed into something because you were doing the wrong thing.
It's more scenario.
Yep.
Sunday, last up, we had FSG blow up in spectacular fashion.
Yes.
I was in the back of the man truck. I actually spotted the IDs, but there was no time to relay that to our driver or whoever's speaking on Convoy net. What is there a possible way we can warn the vehicles of IDs that were spotted very late?
Yes.
Or is that just...
That situation is a bit mean, because whilst Reki did miss it, I had spotted it, but Ryan had told us he was going to be putting IDs down anyway, so he asked us not to tell you guys, because he wanted to have a situation where we would actually have to respond to the IDs. So I'd seen it, and the fact that you'd seen it is very good, but at that point we were so close anyway, especially as you were one of the last vehicles. To me, the easiest thing to do would just be to start screaming IED on your section net, and hopefully the convoy net will call as soon as possible, something like convoy halt, if it's that close. I mean, obviously we'd want to avoid it, but we were so close at that point, just stopping people where they are so that we can then respond after the information's been gone. Because otherwise, if you go ID on the right, moving to avoid or whatever, that's unnecessary words, unnecessary time. You could get close to the IDs and we could take more casualties. So just as soon as possible, try and get it up the chain of command, just that someone knows his IDs, and then we could stop and deal with it from there. Probably get started again after even 3 or 4 seconds and avoid it. I mean, the issue there is obviously we would be potentially sitting in a kill group or a kill zone for an ambush, but I'd rather be sitting in a kill zone for an ambush with all our vehicles operational than be sitting in a kill zone for an ambush with one vehicle blown up on fire and casualties on the ground. So I don't know if that answers your question, but for that, you know, again, situations like this are very circumstantial. But in that one, for getting the message up there, just try and do everything possible. But we can't have everyone on Convoy now, obviously, and you don't have a backup radio anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
They told it basically.
Yeah. Does anyone have any other questions? Good. Let's get.
Yes, I got one quick one just to add on top of Jurgen's. If, for instance, like third Victor saw a landmine on the floor, would it be worth just going into yelling to shout it out to number 4, and if it's at a speed?
They might be too far. They definitely will be equipped in or outside of an urban environment. We were in them there, but if you want to be on yelling when you're doing it on your section net, then there's no, you know, it might alert one of the adjacent vehicles, and there's no harm in it because it's going to be going up the chains the rest of the way anyway. But yeah, it probably won't help too much in the short term, but it's not going to harm anything. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, that's fine.
Good. Dish?
Yeah, I was just thinking you could possibly sound the horn and like swerve to the direction, you know, away from the ID possibly. That might be a quick way to just relay it back.
Yeah, we don't want to cause too much confusion. Ideally, we got the recce vehicle for a reason, so if that hadn't been operated by a spotter, it would have blown up recce, and serves them right for not spotting it. Look at them over there, they can hear me as well. Damn you, recce. But anyway...
Microphone activated.
Ideally, we have the... As I said, we have this... I have no idea.
Then again, with the whole convoy thing, try and go in the same like tyre marks as the previous vehicles, you know that's safe.
Because that means if it's a pressure plate device, then it won't be detonating for you if it hasn't detonated for the scouting element.
Because if they're a good Zeuser, then they should be hiding their IEDs and explosives. Shouldn't be just in the middle of the road.
Yeah. Unless we're trying to prove a point. Like a training point, as I will do later. But yeah. If the scouting element's doing its job, probably is in its 200 meters away in front of you, and you're following in its tyre marks, if it does go over a pressure plate ID, it will blow up. And then we'll be able to react to that with a bit of time before we arrive. Or you're in its tyre marks, so if it hasn't blown up, there is no ID, unless it's a spotter activated one. And then we'd probably be on the extra lookout because we'd see a suspicious looking spotter. As Corporal Johnson once said. For Corporal Johnson. Anything else? Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
Quick piss break then for you all. I'm just going to go talk to FSG about whether they have a loaded vehicle.
Being a good boy. Being a good boy.
Who?
Hey.
Yes.
Hey, can I play him a song later?
He's come over for a fucking treat, look at him.
I know.
Have I been a good boy?
Have I been a good boy?
Yeah,
Can I
go
have
fetch
walkies now?
Can I have a walkie? Can I give you a bat blast?
Yeah.
You're starting to sound like Spittle.
They got 12.4 cost.
I can give you what?
He's starting to sound like you.
What, really hot pitch?
No,
he's starting to sound like Hill.
In the middle of that.
You should be
training.
really concerned. Like.
What? Oh, you shut your mouth, Ferry.
I think it was.
Wanna go wee wee?
Oh yeah, that was it. Wanna go wee wee?
Thankfully, they're all in bed.
Here we go. We're going to teleport you back to the motor pool, and then we'll go up from base, and I'll get a route.
But I like these ones.
A more advanced route plotted.
Ooh, beam me up, Scotty.
So let's take
Beam me up, Scotty.
Teleport.
Back for life.
How are you, Mitchell?
I am fine.
Bill, how is the University of Birmingham?
Nope, sit down.
Oh, bye on one.
Yeah, bye bye. Good riddance.
Should we just jump in the car and get rid of it?
It smells better. Oh, damn it.
You are having issues with that certain PDO.
I'm going to like shift out of the way. Sorry. I don't want to get hit by a car.
Yeah, I'm thinking that as well.
Problems with a certain PDO. When it comes up again, if it teaches up again.
Just watch as someone plays fucking bowling with 1-1.
Remember last time with the ID, we played Mario Kart?
Remember last time with the Abrams tank when I shifted it?
Have you finished? Have University of Birmingham broke up yet?
Yes.
Please. Okay. I just needed to know for something. That's all.
What it was.
Thank you.
Something or other. Might want to verify.
It's like watching a hamster on cocaine.
Alright, no problem.
Actually, you know what? I'd rather watch that.
Yes, I would agree.
Stop acting like a prick.
Yeah.
What he said.
Herringbone.
Ah, I was expecting him to play fucking Skittles with them.
Oh, so it is one per fighting that he's doing then? No, it's okay, it's not.
Section seems.
Please tell me he's going to kill himself with it. Oh.
As he just slams it up his own backside.
Spacing.
It's 1%.
Oof.
Underwood, you're gone.
I know, we're fucked.
Then I want Hardwick in the top cover.
Quick, we can't look bad.
No. We look awesome while we all stand shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
Wasn't really shoulder to shoulder, but yeah, okay.
Oh, really?
It was just enough space there to make us look awesome. So get back.
Right, so, there we go.
Jurgen, stop beating up the other South African. Come on.
I was actually pushing Walker.
Oh, that's reasonable. Go back and push him.
Oh, I don't like gaps. I'll go radio check.
Did I just hear him say he doesn't like gaps?
Yeah.
Nice.
I like gaps. How about you, Dave?
Unless they're well lubed. Oh yeah. Love a good gap.
You've got to love a good gap.
Love a good gap.
Well,
it turns out that a guy in Hawaii. What?
Sorry.
Yeah,
with the clan.
Mitchell, are you here?
Did he love
yes.
Yeah.
Just for now, we're going to drive around briefly, doing
Stand up, Jurgen.
just a few herringbones and coils. I've marked a circular route on the map. There's no secondary routes or anything needed at the moment because we're not going to be encountering anything. It's just going to be going in circles briefly. It should take 10-15 minutes after that. As we do this, Bailey's going to be coming up with some scenarios for us to shoot things in and get engaged and ambushed and all the bad stuff.
Brush chicken safety's off.
Okay, cool. Let's get looted up. And get people on 51 in the vehicles, and we'll go over who's where.
We'll take war driving first, please.
Right, man up.
Spitter, you're close to the... Oh no, you're taking Victor 4. Okay. Mitchell, you're going to be Victor 2 then. You guys are Victor 4, Spitter.
Okay.
I'm so disappointed.
Oh, Hardwick got into the 50 cal before Daesh could.
No, you called it.
No, I called Hardwick for top cover. So you gotta get in the you get in top cover now.
It's Perry.
No, Perry swap with.
I'm sorry.
Perry swap with Daesh because obviously he got the machine gun. Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Some fucking musical chairs.
God damn it.
Oh, there's not much room in
Yeah,
it.
but then you stayed in there. Rather you stay in them.
I've got Dace's arse in my face as well.
Oof.
It's alright.
Feel free to spank it.
I've got Hardwick's ass. Like 5
This is
inches
Victor
away
4
from
signing on to 50.1. Rage over.
I'm not on it yet.
Right, you gotta love a good
Slacking, Sterling. Slacking.
5's Victor 4, how me? Over.
Really 5x5, Victor 1. Victor 4 out.
Victor 2 signing on to
Make sure you're on the net so you can hear.
5's. Fuck, I forgot what Victor you up.
What is it? Sorry, 50.1.
50.1. Perry, I want you on the net as well. On your backpack.
Yes.
There we go, should be good.
Cool. I should probably clear mine.
Just tell me when someone speaks over it next and I'll tell you whether I heard it or not.
All Victors radio check by the numbers.
I do.
Over.
Cool. Ooh.
Victor 1 on 50.1. Over.
Even I heard that.
Victor 2, 50.1. Over.
Victor 3, okay. Over.
4 okay.
Fuck, I forgot the okay thing in the dick.
And then we do Victor 5. Victor 5.
Driving asleep.
Victor 5 signing on the 50.1. Over.
All Victors.
Hearing
by the numbers, cool when set. Over. Victor 1, set. Over.
Victor 2, set.
What? Louder.
Victor 3, set. Out.
Victor 4, set. Out.
Victor 5 set. Out.
All Call her, let's get the convoy moving. Speed 70 towards the
Anyone got that
S
on the
marker on
speaker?
the edge of the Salt Lake. Out.
Yeah, I don't.
For some reason,
one moving. Out.
everything was coming through on right speaker for me.
Victor 3, this is Victor 2. Question, over. In our current formation, we have both ridgebacks facing towards our left-hand side.
Oh my god, it doesn't.
Would you like us to alternate one facing left, one facing right? Over?
No!
Negative, no need. All 5 vehicles have 50. Well, no, we've got 72.
Yeah, I don't understand this issue either.
Weapons mounted on top, that shouldn't matter. Over.
Yes, yeah.
With the exception of the command vehicle, which has a 7.62, but again, it's a 7.62 LMG.
Oh.
It doesn't fucking matter. It's a machine gun.
It's just one.
As long as there's a gun facing every alternating direction, it's fine.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, indeed.
Is it just the one screen on there?
Yeah, just one.
No, it's got points forward.
Just so you know, it's a bit more. I don't have. Oh no, there you go. Come on, scratch up.
What?
Underwood, can you raise the flags?
Ooh.
I got a rear camera and that's it.
Nah, that's not on this one.
Vector 1 turning right.
Crickets in the back.
Victor 5 isn't calling what they're turning.
No, they're not.
Busted.
Wait, we're on the wrong side of the road.
I know, I'm following the tyres.
Victor 1, this is Victor 2. Message, over.
Send message Victor 2.
Victor 1, what is convoy speed, over?
Victor, convoy speed is currently 70, over.
Just around the countryside.
70, out.
Victor 1 turning left, out.
Underwood, maintain the high speed.
Please remember to inform the convoy when
and
you
then
are turning as you're the last vehicle.
And handbrake turner.
Yes, handbrake turner.
I want to see a drift around it.
Let's see if we can do this.
Yes. Oh, you remember this town when we got, you know, absolutely ripped apart?
I would like to let you know that
hello,
I recently was in a crash as well.
Not my last. Victor 1 turning left.
You're on a fishing all the time.
He's going to be the one that flung out the front like a rag.
This thing goes off in my hand when, you know, it's never...
Oh, beg your pardon?
It goes off in your hand?
Giggity.
With Underwood's violent jerk, you know, my loose fingers. It's gonna go wrong.
Yeah, Hardwick, point your AR to the right side of the Victor.
Yep.
There we go.
Should it be? I mean,
Victor 1 turning right.
Yeah, but you know, we've got the 50 point in that direction. It doesn't take you long to swivel around.
Victor 1 turning left.
Yeah, no, it is.
Convoy decreased 230 when in the sound, back up to 70 when out of sound. Victor 1
Oh, spacing.
Yeah.
I did not sit for an hour of theory if you just fucked yourself under.
Victor 1 turning left.
The only thing is, though, the amount of dust can't see IEDs. But then we have Recce.
Can Recce see IEDs?
Recce,
Indeed.
Unless it's a spotter.
All this dust is caused by gas.
Is it?
All Victor, convoy hold. Vehicle herringbone, hard dismount, out. Victor 1 acknowledges, Victor herringbone, out.
Vehicle herringbone and hard dismount.
Dacia's come out the last time.
Yes.
Dave, swivel around that 50 feet. Right, hard dismount. Try left, out, right.
Go, get to the wall.
Daesh, I want your 50 facing north, as you've kind of got semi crossing the road and semi to our left.
Yeah, FM.
You got a semi?
Yeah, for this formation, definitely. Right. Perry, give him some binos on those reeds bearing 300. Just get quick eyes out.
Yeah, 300 meters out, and they're clear.
Yeah, the rear looks clear as well.
Four victors, mount up, and call when set by the numbers.
Mount up.
Over.
Delta, mount up.
Victor 1 is set out.
Victor 4, set out.
Last man?
Oh, you even got the last man in.
Four victors, just a reminder, I called by the numbers, so I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's all they're out.
50% attendance rate means I doubt
Victor 1 is set out.
Victor 2, set out. Victor 3, set out.
Victor 4, set out.
Victor 5, set out. All heard, let's get the convoy moving.
On the road.
Victor 1 moving out.
Right, Dave, swing it left.
Yeah.
And right now you've got the 50.
Strictly speaking, as a driver, when you're going back, moving out from a herringbone, you should reverse back onto the road and then go forward again.
My God, Walker, does it really matter?
If you're turning back on, the part
He's basically saying that we should all reverse back onto the
it's likely
road.
would have already went off and just to be safe.
That man annoys me. Well, he doesn't. He's a lovely person. It's irrelevant.
Right, let's get a bit more spacing.
Oh, these corners are just getting better and better.
Victor 5, turning left. Out.
Victor 1 turning right. Out.
Fucking hell.
Bill, are these just dry practices at the moment?
Say that again, Perry?
Are these just dry practices at the moment?
I have no idea. I'd hope for some live fire.
Victor 5, turning right.
The entire theory part went on for way too long.
All victors, when we reach the MSR, there's a crossroads, we'll be forming a coil formation.
Alright, we're
on
going to form
that
coil when we
out.
come to the crossroads.
Victor 1 acknowledges. Out.
Give me about 10 metres more spacing on the wood.
Wooded.
That's just perfect.
Victor 1 turning left. Out.
No, Victor 1 shouldn't be turning left. Oh, wait, you mean at the... okay.
Yeah, they are quite a bit in front of us, Perry.
Yeah, I got that out. I thought he was turning left in the coil. I was like, no.
Technically, it doesn't really matter where he goes, we just should fill in the gaps.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right. Oh, I thought it was
So
this
then you'll
crossroad.
have Walker over the radio saying, why are the ridgebacks not on the side?
Victor 5, turning left. Out.
Victor 1 forming coil formation. Out.
Right,
I don't
like
think they qualified for the 50. He's now pointing it at the cloud.
Poor clouds.
I thought you liked it up, Harry, you know.
Oh.
That's not 50.
Oh, fair enough.
Alright,
Fully erect.
where should we go?
You're doing a full U-turn
right side,
facing
right
that
side.
way.
Oh, where are you going? Where are you going?
We're going left, aren't we?
Yeah, he has to go left.
Well...
See?
Well, frankly, it would have been easier if we just went point down the MSR southwest and let FSG just simply stop.
Well, no, because they have to turn around, don't they? They have to be pointing the way
Yeah,
there.
we have to be here too.
You know, throw logic out the window.
No, just fucking...
Alright, soft dismount.
Right, do you know what, Phil? Stop slagging everyone off.
50 to the northwest.
Thank you two, I say.
Charlie left, able to ride, I'm guessing?
Every time.
Mum's the word. Alright, let's go to the bushes.
Spill, we've got a house 20 metres to our north.
Seen?
Would you like us to clear it?
All Victors, move all your guys into the centre where the command vehicle is.
I guess I won't clear it then.
I was going to give that house a right good rogering.
Alright, all in.
Are we missing a Daesh? Oh, no, because it's in the...
Someone's on the gun.
Oh, it's always the recruit.
You didn't say full dismount, so you know, might be.
You're correct.
They are maintaining security, Sterling.
Give the recruit a pat on the back. Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
You listened to me.
Yeah.
Simon says.
I just called you over because there was a bit of confusion regarding the coil. It still got formed very quickly and efficiently, so there were no problems, but I just want to clarify on things because I see it could be an issue. As you saw, we formed a coil when we were turning left. It was on our left turn marker. It would probably been easier if we'd been travelling in a straight line, but there's nothing wrong with FSG forming the position they did. It's probably the best one, actually, seeing as it's going to be the path we take next.
Thank you, Spill.
Then again, if they had chosen the one to the southeast, as I'd earlier told them, there would have been no issues. It would just take a bit longer to get going again. So either way, it doesn't matter, but just a bit of proactive thinking is a good idea. Everything was good. I'd say, as I said, the last vehicle should be the one that's turning around on the spot. All the other vehicles should just slot in. So
see Underwood. Haha.
So it probably would have been better if 1-2 had just turned right.
Yeah, see Underwood. I told you so, didn't I?
Shut up, please. And then 5-2 would have just turned around on spot. But all the others were covered, and there was only about 2-3 seconds of confusion. So good stuff. But yeah, as long as the rear vehicle is the one that's turning around, and then all the rest of, because they'll be the ones that they have the most time before we have to get started again. They're the most warning to get back turned around the right way and all that stuff. So just slot in, really. It doesn't matter if FSG goes. I mean, 1-5 goes, as long as everyone else just picks him up and runs with it. So other than that good stuff, we'll get going again. I'll do 1 or 2 more herringbones, and then Bailey is preparing some torture for you little piggies.
Right,
in general, we have a lightly armed vehicle.
Yeah.
Well, you wanted it.
You better be good reconnaissance.
I would have liked a tank, but you know.
Let's get going.
We got
everyone. Mount up.
Mr. Eagle Eye McFly.
No. See, I told you, Underwood.
Technically both are right, but...
Yeah, but he said turning right would be easier.
I can drop 2 more bridge backs if you want to give your guys a bit more
not always the best way.
chances to get used to driving, etc. We can just have 2 skeleton vehicles.
Mercy.
Over.
That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, well, let's get out.
What's that?
Hey, we'll do that then.
Yep, that will dismount.
Victors, wait 1. I'm going to drop 2 more bridge backs just so more of the infantry gets to practice with them. We will get rid of them before the live fire stuff because they'll be undermanned. Over.
What?
Driving here.
Jurgens, you're driving. Edwick, you will be flapping your arms about on the top, right?
Then try to fly away.
Becoming Seagull 1-1 slowly.
Oh my god.
Yeah, see Underwood. We could have gone southwest and turned right.
Yeah, we could have, but at the same
Victor,
time,
what
like,
Victor are you becoming?
it would have taken FSG so much longer to get into position. But
Come on, you two, it's going to be a long journey.
1-5.
Spill was right.
Charlie,
Yes, ma'am.
3 is 20 Delta, 4 is HQ,
Right.
5 is
Underwood
Charlie,
put us in front of the command
1
vehicle.
Delta, and 7 will be last pick.
In front of the command vehicle.
yeah, no, we're going around this way, so I don't have to deal with fucking
Everyone acknowledges out.
fences. They go around here.
Right. Delta, you're a bit behind us.
Don't mind me, guys!
So we're Victor 5, basically.
No.
No, okay.
Victor 3 with you.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
In front of the plant, Victor.
Could you come up with some route just to take them past the dudes so that things don't get too confusing? Let me just fix things while they sort this stuff out and just want to
Right.
make it so that we're going straight.
Victor 1, can you push forward 20 metres over?
And then you can. Okay, I will hold off and get rid of 2 of the ridge banks.
Yes, go. Yes, go. There we go. Slot in. There we go.
No. We're there.
Right down.
Fit
Fit in behind us.
Victor
Straight
1
up.
on 50.1, out.
Victor 2, ready, out.
Victor 3, ready, out.
Visible, okay, out.
I'm probably going to bill you for that fence.
Victor 6, okay, out. Just, all Victors, I believe we have forgotten how to count. I need Victor 5 to sign in before Victor 6. Over.
We did, but Victor 5, okay, out.
What was that?
Someone forgot how to count and said 6 before 5.
Victor 7, okay, out.
It never was sure now.
All heard. Convoy, let's get moving at 70 km per hour.
Let's
Victor 1
go.
acknowledges, moving out now.
70 miles an hour. Are they going to pick one side of the road, or they're just going to go in the middle?
No, you know, they're wrecking, they just do what they want. No, they're going the British side. We're going British side. So we're going to follow them.
Yes, good.
Nope, and then fucking took off.
Victor 1, please hold convoy. Victor 6 has lost its driver to a disconnect.
Over. Victor 1 acknowledges, holding now.
All Victors, just some criticism for things like that. Just call a halt as if you're the commander, and then we'll
And
find
point
out
the
why
weapon
afterwards.
right, please.
Yep. Firm.
I swear I saw an IED just as on that turn there. Right, soft dismount.
All Victors, soft dismount.
Victor 6 on the move to catch up with the rest of the convoy. Out.
Right, I'm just going to check in Zeus.
Oh shit,
Jesus,
man.
take the wheel.
Have fun.
Don't do it.
Proceed to run
Yeah,
out.
soft it.
Flight, just be advised, we're going to S.
What the hell then did I see on that corner? Strange. I thought I saw an IED on the corner, but it didn't explode when we went over the top of it.
Probably deleted it just in time or something.
No, it was them who went over the top of it.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway,
Victor 6 rejoined convoy. Out.
Just have a magical truck, that's what it is.
I'll probably just have an imagination for a piece of dirt. I think it's an IED.
There's lumpy stuff in the floor, I don't like it.
All Victors, mount up, and when ready, call set by the numbers. Over.
Victor 1, set, out.
Victor Sue, set out.
Victor 3,
Yeah. Did I say
out.
Sue then?
Oh.
5, set, out.
So we're naming our truck Sue.
Oh. Yeah, you got Juliet there, no, that's Sue. And then we've got Sheila.
70, let's get moving.
Right, back on the road.
Victor 1 acknowledges, moving out now, out.
Yep, there goes the rubber band.
Oh yeah. What's that on the left side of the road?
Grass. Oh, that would be mine. Landmine. AD, should I say? Don't fucking trust that shit.
Yeah, keep away from that.
I'm waiting to hear a bang.
If only Hill would see
Another one.
Yeah.
Convoy, halt, ID spotted.
They spot that one, but they don't spot the second one.
Yeah.
All victors, with Airborne, hard dismount.
Hard dismount. I was like, they saw the first one.
You mean they saw the second one?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they failed to tell us of the first one. I looked at it and I think, that doesn't look right.
There's a big old bit of junk on the side of the road with no junkyard nearby. Dodgy.
All victors, good stuff. Some of the vehicles are a bit closer than others, especially victors 5 and 6, but not too much of a drag. Just try to keep the spacing a bit more even. Over.
Hello 1-1, be advised, your 2 victors are a bit closer than I'd like. In future, just try and get a bit more even spacing. It's not the end of the world, but it's nicer when everything is a bit more perfect in it.
1-1 acknowledges out.
Treasure 1, I'm going to get rid of the other 2 vehicles now. We're about to go into a bit more of a live fire situation.
Dare to come up to the first victor.
Dismount and go back.
How did you know that was an IED, and also why did you ignore the last one?
No reason. Need to know information.
All victors,
Because you kind of saw it and think, that's a bit suspicious.
5 victors, same call time as before.
Yes, I knew it.
Live fire situations shortly. Break.
Obviously, okay.
All mount up now and prepare
Welcome
to
aboard,
bounce.
Sue.
Call off on them by the numbers when set. Out.
Turns out that the reason why the first one wasn't called was because it's a private need to know information.
Oh.
Yes, man.
Sounds more like they forgot. Oh yeah, by the way.
It was. Good God. I'm going to say it was actually one of Reki laying on the floor. That's what it was. Disguised as rubbish.
In his ghillie suit as a tyre.
So, trash cookie runs and push cookie.
Exactly that. By the way, our Ridgeback is named Sue.
Why?
I don't know if any of you caught what Spittle said, but when he said Victor 2 is ready out, he said Victor Sue is ready out.
Couldn't help it.
I like that she can fit 6 men. Is it 6 men? Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Inside
yeah, no,
it,
she can
she's a
fit.
good-
She can fit 6, but a 7th is too much.
Bless her.
Cough,
all prepared.
Victor 1.
Hello Victor 2, this is Victor 3, it's positive over.
Send it for Victor 2, over.
I was on 6.1, have you called that you're set yet, over?
Negative, because waiting for Victor 1 to call set, over.
Hey firm, I believe it must have slipped past, I heard them call it in, they might have called it on 6.1, over.
Hey, phone, Victor 2 set out. Did you hear them say Victor 1?
No, I didn't hear anything over the radio.
Victor 4 set.
Okay, they called it on 60.1, that's why.
Good job. Victor 5 set. Out.
All victors.
On the road.
Convoys moving at speed 70, and the break and move into the town, let's move it now to...
As much as they roll over that one.
Right.
Victor 1 acknowledges.
Yeah, give him the right side.
Everyone, we're going to think.
Yeah, Dave, left side.
Over to 1, Victor 3 will be at your discretion as to when we move down to 30. Over.
At your trigger.
Victor 1 acknowledges. Out.
Attitude is everything, baby. If you're shooting with a smile, you're shooting to care.
Liberating promises, one bullet at a time.
Shooting doesn't need to be an angry thing, okay?
It can be in happiness as well.
I'm going to be fucking beaming when I let this through.
Just make sure you say cheese to whoever you're shooting at.
Microphone
All
muted.
victors just familiarise yourself with the route into the town. There is one additional route marked on screen, which we might have to take depending on the situation. Over.
Hit anything really, just go ham.
Yeah. Victor 1
Microphone
acknowledges.
activated.
Oh.
All victors,
Light shot.
120, let's run through these contacts.
Move for it.
Victor 1 acknowledges.
Alright, ceasefire.
Underwood, remember when you're pushing through, you're supposed to increase your speed as much as you can.
I don't know what the speed of the slowest car is.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're supposed to push through.
Yeah, maintain 70. Maintain 70. We've got the convoy with us.
So yeah, when we take contact, just press shift
All victors back down to
grip around
70.
corners.
Over.
And then Recky's just in the
Victor 1
distance.
acknowledges. Out.
Which is where they're meant to be anyway.
Yeah. Taking out the bombs for us.
If you can see Ricky, you know.
Victor 2, continue at further increased speed until we have caught up with Victor 1
Does
again.
scare the shit out of me when I see a rabbit.
Right, take it up to 80. Let's catch up.
No, he said keep it down to 70 until we take out the
Victor 1
Who's it?
approaching the town.
I can't hear him.
230. Out.
I've got too much of the vehicle noise.
Yeah,
Zero, this is mobile messenger.
Southeast.
Is that ever?
What card are we on, over?
that's our right
Oh,
side.
more contact. Right side.
All victors were on card Alpha.
Dave, don't shoot the nothing on the right side. It's on the right side. Not left.
Contact out.
Scary. Victor 1 acknowledges. Out.
There he is. Go quickly, quickly, come on.
Push through.
Push through.
2, you need to pick up the speed. Over.
Dash, target's coming up on the left
Contact.
side.
Left side.
Contact left, yeah.
Victor 1 taking alternate.
Don't just wait there, shoot him.
All victors, follow Victor 1, down the alternate route marked 3 out.
Dave, stop firing at the ground. Actually aim at your targets.
Victor 1 taking right on alternate route. Out.
Right, take it up.
Push harder. You're too slow Underwood.
Yeah, I know. Hold shift, mate. Can only go as fast as the car wants.
Right there, right there.
Then give the car some oomph, alright? Believe in it. Give it some attitude.
That's how crashes happen.
You're being shot at.
Victor 5 going right.
Crashing last green car.
Victor 1 increasing speed to 70. Out.
The inner drive coming out. Shooting is no reason to be a reckless driver.
Zero, this is 1-1, Charlie message over.
Is that ever?
I have 1 times recruit Fox at base.
The Ricky are
for
increasing speed to 70, and I can't even.
Be advised, Victor 1's 50 is out of action. Over. hold convoy. ID spotted between Victor 1 and 2.
Hold.
Yeah, there it is. Left side, right side even.
Yeah, eyes on. Victor 3, this is Victor 2, message over.
You'll be able to go around to the left.
Victor 3, over.
Victor 3, be advised, IED, right side of road, approximately 20 metres in front of me, over.
Roger that. Proceed to avoid ID by taking alternate route off the left, off-road.
Left, no, go towards it. Don't go towards it.
Don't go towards it.
I'm not. I'm coming around here.
That is, Underwood, take a direct left next time.
Fair enough.
All victors will move about 200 metres from the ID to form a big herringbone and hard dismount for a reinsert. Over.
Victor 1 acknowledges. Moving 200 meters out.
I think we should change the driver, to be honest.
Are they going to get one experience one way or another?
He's dangerous.
Victor 1, steps on the
Have we
speed.
died
Over.
yet?
Yes.
Victor 1 pulling left for herringbone now.
Someone has.
Did someone find you?
Right, herringbone it. Daesh, 50 cal right.
All victors
Hard dismount.
is a pretty shit place to stop, so we're just doing it because the teleport's out.
Left side.
Shall I swing round to the front because we've got no one covering that road?
There's Reki there.
Yeah.
They're not in the they're facing left.
Well, we're doing our job, we're covering our, right? They gotta do theirs.
Yeah, AFM.
Jurgens, don't be there, buddy. Come over more this way.
Senor Sterling. Hello? Hospital.
Hello. Could one of you get in the 50 cal and actually cover the road, please?
We can't. The 50 is broken.
Oh, is it broken? How do you break it?
Yeah. It got shot.
Shot a lot.
FYI, their 50 is broken and unable to move.
Do you want...
Somehow.
I'll keep checking that way.
Right, on with me, Underwood. Let's push forward. Let's watch northeast.
Okay.
Not that far, not far. Yeah. Lewis?
He's with Bailey.
Oh, right.
I think we're getting a new vehicle.
Nah, that's not fair.
It is, we're cool. And then I couldn't look behind without hitting a tree, so we weren't sure if we were far enough away. It was a bit
Microphone muted.
Okay. Is there a new vehicle yet, or have you not made one?
Yeah, I've given him in.
Has anyone?
Yeah, I just healed it up.
Let's heal.
Oh.
Andy.
Contact report, over.
We have a new
Sterling, ND.
Microphone activated.
Sterling, ND, Hardwick. And it was a Hardwick.
It works. Cheers, Bailey.
Was that Melbourne, did you say?
No, it was a Hardwick.
Okay.
Sterling just asked if it was Melbourne again. You have to carry on your brotherly tradition, don't you?
Right,
Lewis?
Sterling.
Have you called it in, Spill?
Where is Ryan today?
What we'll do is...
I don't know.
One sec.
I have no idea.
Hardwick the fucking correct.
I think he's stood
Hey, sure.
Spill, did you call that in?
For what in?
The ND?
Yes. I was standing right next to Sterling.
Okay.
Hardwick?
I'm safe now.
Sterling told me to tell you you're a fucking cretin.
This is not entirely untrue.
And also, I told him that you're following your brotherly tradition.
Why did he?
Well, because your brother's renowned for his NDs. You can ask him what I'm talking about because he's next to you. Oh, it would be nice to say that the seaside, time to be beside the sea. 1-0 Bravo, this is 1-2 Charlie, message over.
Send over.
1-0 Bravo, permission to push a small recce team forward 100 metres. Let's get eyes on past these tight corners, as we've got no visibility due to trees over.
Roger that. You can send a
With me.
5-team size reconnaissance patrol in that direction. Do not move more than about 200 metres to 300 metres from here. Over.
Hey, firm 1-0 Bravo, just going to have a look on the road because we can't actually get eyes through it if we're in a convoy going at speed over.
Roger, good stuff. Out.
Yeah, just keep an eye on the road, Underwood.
1-2, this is 1-1 Delta, message.
Send it 1-2, over.
Would you like our fire teams to spread out on the arc that your guys are leaving? Over.
Negative, because all arcs are covered by my remaining fire team and 50 cal, over.
A firm, out.
Hello, 1-2 Charlie, this is a 1-2 Bravo, message over.
Send it 1-2 Charlie, over.
If you could wrap up the reconnaissance patrol, we are ready to get moving again. Over.
Hey, firm, we just got to past the bends. Looks all clear. 1-0 Bravo, over.
Good to hear. Return to your vehicles and mount up. Break, same for you 1-1, calling it on pit 1 now. Out.
All victors,
Perry mount
up and call by the numbers when set. Over.
Victor 1 is set. Out.
Yeah, look fine. There was one bend that I didn't see, but
yeah, I looked past it. It looks completely fine from what we can see here.
What?
No, you get straight to the Victor. I'm gonna go to Reki first.
Okay.
Charlie uniform.
I don't like the looks of you people.
Smell you. Lewis, be advised. Down the road on your left, you've got a left turn with a building. Look clear, but again, Zeus's.
Cheers. On the fire guard. No, we're not got a fire guard, so I've put like this bit of wood up, stop her getting to it. And that's
Wait,
just
wait,
fallen over.
wait, so you put wood up to protect a fire?
Well, no, it's not on. It's just at an angle. It's a
Victor
bit-
2.
I don't know if you know much about
Victor 2, ready, out.
fire dates,
3 set.
but I wouldn't be protecting it with wood.
Victor 4,
I was going to
okay,
like chocolate one, but I heard here then I could either.
Victor 5, set.
I don't know, that tastes pretty good.
Yeah, to be fair.
4 Victors.
On the road.
Let's get moving at 50 through the
Swing it around.
road.
Victor 1 acknowledges moving out now. Out.
This is where they fucking put a mine down while we were walking out.
Yeah, you know. Bit more spacing.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm doing. Calm down.
Just going to reload this.
It's not telling me to calm down. I'll wave my tip if I want it.
All Victors be advised, we're going back through that town. All the contacts have been killed by an American. Over.
Just a singular American.
Was it Kelly's girlfriend? There's no way it's all been soaked on his tea or something there.
Fortunately for me, I did not have any coffee left.
Victor 1 turning right. Out.
The fucking bit on some broomsticks car up there.
Fire turning right. Out.
Hello, Victor 1, this is Victor 3, back 7.
Send message Victor 3, over.
Be advised, when we return to the MSR, your bid takes us back up to 70, over.
Victor 1 acknowledges turning right now, bringing us back up to 70, out.
Tragedy 1, we are going to be moving to the large town of Sophia. At Sophia, we'll be extracting an HVT. We'll be forming a coil formation at the black RV marker to do so. Over.
Victor 5 turning right. Out.
Oil there.
All Victors will be proceeding to Sophia, which is now empty, and we will be extracting an HVT, or a VOP even.
I think a HVT was on about.
To do so, we'll be forming a coil formation on the black RV flag. Over.
Convoy, hold.
So at this point, we go up to Ricky?
Then break it right just before that. Oh wait, what's he doing?
There's an ID there. That's why. What are you doing?
Shit, yeah.
Victor 3, be advised, ID right side.
Eyes on, all Victors move left to avoid.
Thank you,
Over.
Ricky.
Oh no.
I can't believe you're in the quicker.
Well, I didn't even see the
This
IED. There's
is
fucking
just a
parked
slightly
up next to
better
it.
report on why you're halting next time. Over. I did not receive your last information. Over.
Victor 1 acknowledges we'll give you a better report next time. Out.
I was thinking they were like, while we're holding, and I was like, eh?
Yeah, they never actually told us. Oi, Underwood, superb flight. There's an ID there. There's an ID. Oh my god.
Apologies, we zoomed past it and it's a bit late.
They left or right?
There's an ID.
Road station. All find ID on the right hand side of the road, move left to avoid into speed.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Victor's 1 to 3, already passed it. Out.
There it is. Come on.
I can't see it.
I'll call that in next time, my bad.
Hello, Victor 5, are you okay? Over.
ID right side of the road, to confirm.
ID right side. Victor 3, ID right.
All Victors move left to avoid. Out.
Is it going to be
Victor 1 approaching Sophia, bringing speed down to 30.
Bloody hell, Victor 1.
Did they get hit? I couldn't see.
All Victors, just a reminder, standard forward formation on the black RV marker, RV1.
So if they're not on Convoy,
Victor 1 acknowledges.
then how the hell are we missing warning?
They are on Convoy net, but I think they're getting confused by which comms they're using.
Right.
Right, come on, keep it up, keep it up. We're going to coil up.
Yeah, we're doing 30, aren't we?
Oh. A bit slow.
Victor 1 holding for coil. Out.
I feel like a granny going through here.
Are we turn left or right?
Oh, we'll go left.
Left?
We're on the right. Aren't we?
No, just pick left. We're just going to pick one.
Yeah,
everyone else can
say
yeah.
left is first.
It doesn't really matter. As long as we pick one, everyone else can fill in behind us. Alright, soft dismount. Actually, no, hard dismount.
All Victors, hard dismount. Out.
Oh.
It's all going wrong. What the fuck is happening?
Right, Charlie Finn, fire team, get on my ass, come on.
Can you move your Delta fighting to my position to assist me with security?
We're clearing the building next to the convoy belt.
Right, and we'll just park yourself in that corner. Hardwick on my position. Come here. Park yourself here and then just point down this road.
Yeah, left there. Going in, going left.
I'm going to keep going. We need to keep going.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, if a 50 cal comes down that road,
Yeah.
we can light it up. We're not.
If you've got a 50 can, you PID, we've got Bravo. Light it up.
Righto. What? Who's the enemy?
Spill, the
Well,
buildings
we've been told.
next to the convoys are clear.
Okay. Well, frankly, we've not been told any friendly assets are in, so consider everything enemy.
Sweet.
I'm just going to ask that actually. 1-0 Bravo, this is 1-2 Charlie, over.
Don't like this.
Send it over.
1-0 Bravo, is there any friendly assets in the area, over?
Negative. Why? Over.
Was asking because obviously if a 50 cal comes down there, I don't want it to be in the local police again.
Well, unless flight decide to fly over us, but they should be in the Westernite, so there should be no.
Yeah, I was just making sure.
Where's that?
Yep, anything that's armoured related, shoot it.
1-0, this is 1-1 Charlie, message over.
Send it over.
Confirm that we are still on card Alpha, over.
Oh, I thought we were card Bravo.
A firm still on card.
What card are we?
Over.
Card Alpha, everyone.
1-0, this is 1-1 Delta, message. Over.
Just get a good.
Oh, look, Perry. There's an insurgent that's going to come right through this door and shoot you.
Oh, I've already cleared it, Spittle.
Yes, but he can come through the other door, can't he?
Oh, no. Wait, there isn't another door.
There is. Is it?
is.
No, no.
Doesn't matter. Get in.
Spittle.
If you close it, and you hear things behind you, you know there's an enemy there.
1-0, this is 1-1 Charlie, message over.
Send it over.
My Delta Fire team would like to know if you would like them to carry on clearing these buildings or just scour them through them. Over.
Negative. I need to know when that building's clear, and then we'll get to mount up and get moving again. Over.
Affirm out.
So yeah, no, just.
And 1-0, and this is 1-1 message over. Yeah.
Yeah. Previous and last over.
1-0, building clear. Out.
I mean, if you're going to stop, it's worth it, but they take time to
Get in?
anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay, we're moving again. Okay, everyone.
Just everyone mount up. Out.
Mount up.
Get back in the vehicle.
All Victors ready to check by the numbers when set. Over.
Come on, Hardwick.
Victor 1 set on 50.1. Out.
You want me to drive? Walker's going to drive, please.
Victor 2 set out.
Victor 3 set out.
Okay, just plonk us in front of Victor 3.
Victor 4 set up. Victor 5 set
And then
out.
hold here, just so we can actually cover this stuff.
All Victors, let's get moving.
Right, let's go, go.
Victor 1 acknowledges, moving out now. Out.
Pointing at the ground again, Dave.
It's because I'm in third person. I can't see shit.
Yeah, Dave, keep pointing level. There's nothing useful at the ground.
Yeah, I'll zoom in.
Over.
Victor 1 acknowledges.
I'll zoom in when
Yeah, I'm going to round.
What are we moving for?
He wanted to drive on the right side of the road.
Why are we driving on the right side of the road?
I have no idea.
Because
Convoy be advised, possible ID right side of the road.
Probable ID, right side, left side.
Out.
On my left. There we go. Contact.
All
South.
Victors up to 110. That's a void.
Hardwick, right side.
RPG.
Someone found the AED.
I think I might have accidentally shot
I'd be surprised if it activated while you shooting it.
Oh, just had a bullet whiz past us.
Yeah. Right. And
Are we
just
sliding?
keep us in the middle of the road.
Light up the reeds, that's where I think they is. Dave, from these ones here. Nice, I like it.
Right, contact cease.
Convoy would be advised, possible ID right side of the road.
ID
Stay on the
right
left-hand
side.
to avoid. Out.
Let's have a look. Where are you?
No, can't see one.
Victor 1 to Victor 3, just try for brevity for ID communications. Maybe as little as ID right moving left is enough. Over.
I have no idea what that was either.
No.
Victor 3 will try
Right, go back to centre.
Victor 3 would appreciate short hold as Victor 4 is falling behind from Victor 5.
Out. Victor 4, Victor 2, roger that. All Victors, Convoy
1 contact front.
Contact
We've
front.
got my last two Victors up to max possible speed.
Max speed, max speed.
Out.
ID left side of the road.
ID
on the corner.
left.
Yeah.
Out.
Right, they've buzzed off. Dave, point that 50 forward.
Yeah, eyes on.
RPG right. RPG right side.
All Victors to speed. Out.
Can't see it.
All
Are
Victors,
you
I'll
shooting at
let you
something?
get more fire if you're facing the arc.
No, you said
contact is on.
Yeah, it was far back,
Over.
mate, the corner.
Face back, left face.
Sorry, instinct.
It's alright.
Convoy be advised.
No,
ID
keep in front.
Right side of the road.
Yeah, Ricky's
opposite
buzzed off.
building, the left hand side. Over.
Bombed it.
Roger that, Mr.
ID
1,
right
you've got
side,
off our head. Stop 300 metres past the ID for a...
Yeah, they're really buzzed off. Right, keep us in the middle of the road now.
Victor 1 acknowledges. Out.
They're gonna be on their own if they get hit.
Please shoot them, please shoot them.
Oh yeah, I see that ID right.
I think I can
That's
see
a warning
some.
One
sign.
coming in the middle of the road, go left, go left, go left.
Left, left, left.
Oh yeah.
ID, middle of the road.
There's an ID there as well, go there. Oh, it's a post not go, I think actually.
It's okay, suspect it for IED, it's fine.
This is perfect for an ambush. Get ready.
Yeah, I'd rather you think it's an IED.
Victor 1 forming herringbone.
It be an ID, you not
building
do
south.
anything. Alright. Alright, herringbone it right.
Yeah, just going after the post. Soft fall. Hard.
I thought we're just catching up.
I don't like those.
All Victors, hard dismount.
Hard
Break.
dismount.
Want to clear these buildings. Out.
One Delta 5 team maintain. Charlie 5 team with me.
Oh.
Right.
Set.
Set for blue breach. 3, 2, 1. Going in. Oh.
Maybe not.
Edward, come to me.
11 to 1 is a Victor 3 message over.
Same message, Victor.
Right,
3.
hold door.
Yep.
In future, just make the vehicle
Right,
going
rear looks
a little further in front, even if I've given you all
Right,
the convoy,
that room looks clear, sir.
because this is
Okay.
near these buildings, quite a dangerous place to stop.
Opening. Going left.
Going right.
Clear.
Right clear.
Victor 1 acknowledges I did ask my driver, but he's a bit stubborn. Over.
Going left. 3, 2,
Roger that.
1.
Obviously, back then I can't see what the terrain is going to
Right
look
clear.
like, so if we just go a couple hundred metres forwards, we've been in the open, where it would have been easy to see.
I'm opening the door. Get eyes on that building and open the door.
It's quite difficult to do this.
Eyes on building.
Moving. Move.
Which is good.
Coming out.
You know, at least it works.
There.
Go, go, go.
Going across.
Moving to you.
Down door.
Flash it.
Don't have flashes.
Switch.
Huh?
Switch.
I'll switch.
3, 2, 1. Flash out. Reaching, going right. Right clear.
Left. Left clear.
The fuck was that?
Make sure that you
Set.
inform the rest of us.
There.
Flashback.
Going up.
Over.
Alright, somebody's breaching.
Ava 10 Bravo. Just didn't like the look of the building over. In fact, I didn't like the look. I don't like these things.
Ooh, is that an ID?
No, it's just a crate.
Did I transmit over?
I'm fucking trusting that. I'm moving away from it.
Let's move to. I'm gonna go to Sterling. Sterling, I think you were trying to say something and you weren't coming through. Where's he gone? Where is he gone? Bailey? Bailey?
Yes.
Where's Sterling gone?
He's with Recce at the front.
Underwood, what
Oh,
drugs have you taken? The question is, what drugs haven't I taken? What drugs have you taken currently? Or for the past few minutes?
Are you talking to me, Sterling?
I'm trying to say, yeah, I don't need you to ask this question, but I need to know, because I heard that
Right, you've been cut off.
scared.
Alright, Ava. Well, if it was a big boom, you'd be worried with Flash. It's just
Yeah, I
being
knew it was
safe.
you, but I just like to, yeah.
Yeah, Ava. Because I don't like the look of those buildings. These flat ones are a bit easier. But,
Jurgen's arse looks sexy through this.
and also I
50
want to use a
colours.
Flash. For the sake of using a Flash. Right.
Can you hear me, baby?
Can you not look at his arse state and look
Clear
at
this
the
fucking
ring?
net.
Yeah, there's because this road is so flat.
Got this thing mock shooting ambush set up. There's an RPG in town. If you drive through it at 30, I can maybe hit.
Right, don't tell anyone. I just heard Bailey say there's going to be an RPG in town. He's going to try and hit one of us.
I vote to not let Underwood drive. Rip 1-2.
It's not going to matter because the thing is, those things are bugged as hell. Well, the RPG hit, it's just going to cook off. Ah, yeah, in the event.
That's a big hits command then.
Yeah. In the event that we do start to cook off, immediate dismount. Everyone.
And what?
For reference, that's double V unless you've changed the button.
Yeah. Obviously, if smoke coming out, it's okay. But if we actually start to flames shooting out the back of our truck, get out immediately and get as far away from it as possible.
Don't run out into the road to stop the convoy.
Or turn to a pancake for that matter.
So VV is an actual thing, yeah?
What is?
If you double press Victor, yes, you will disembark with basically it's an eject.
He's not going to get shoot. He's not going to shoot up in the sky, is he?
Who?
Daesh, if you push double V, he's not going to like shoot up in the sky with a 50 cal.
I don't know.
Just an advanced heads up, if you do double tap V, as I said, it is eject, so if you jump out when the vehicle's moving, you're going to ping into the distance, and I am going to laugh. Noted.
Perry, have a 40 prep just to go into those reeds.
Okay.
Jurgens?
Hello.
Pull back 10 meters in case we get contact from here. We're going to do immediate 40 in there.
Okay. Isn't it 1-1 out there?
No, 1-1's back there. I'm saying, like, if we have contact from here, we're just going to 40 it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
What's our grid?
So I've got a...
Uh-huh.
Go slow enough.
All victors, mount up and call by the numbers when ready to move.
Man up.
Over.
Victor 1 set. Out.
So, yeah, I should be able to.
Aha, here we are. We're just here. Right, we're about to go through Pyros.
Nice, man.
Right. Victor 2 set. Why am I hearing Ward just like...
Yeah, it's quite
Complain?
Victor 3 set.
Evil.
All of the above.
Hotel, Travago.
4 set.
Be Ward, or not to be.
Victor 5 set. Out.
Rather not.
Yeah.
All victors,
Yes.
moving at 70.
Alright, move out.
Over.
Victor 1 acknowledges 7-0.
And there's some victors left over on the left behind me.
Nope, you're going on the right side. Nope, rubber band. I thought you was going to start singing the fucking Vietnam song. Why are all these pylons falling
All
over?
victors, if you want to
I think the Recce's hit them.
IED blast, they're immobilised and we're under heavy fire. All make coil around their vehicle. And
Right, get front, get front.
Over.
Get front?
Yep.
I thought they were under heavy fire.
Yeah, we're forming a coil around them. Hold here.
Hold in.
Hard dismount.
We are.
Soft dismount until they're mounted up. Over.
Delta, get right side by the wall.
Might want to set one man over to Spittle.
Underwood, come on.
All course lines, you can fire live rounds.
Soft, wasn't it?
Continue suppressing things. Over.
Well, frankly, we're going to be here until they're done, so might as well hard dismount.
All call signs, feel free to fire live rounds, continue suppressing things. Over.
I won't see shit.
Does that mean a 40 mic, Mike?
No, I'd rather save the ammo.
Negative. Mount up anyway. Break.
All
That was the
victors
wrong
mount
bit,
up
that's what
and get moving as soon as you call set. Over.
I really love last call with
All
the smoke.
victors mount up. Over.
Man up.
I still haven't downloaded it. Do you just have that?
Use earlier victor numbers.
Just confirm.
Because we've been quick.
Yeah, you did.
So start with Victor 2, move,
Oh well.
proceed down the road, and then we fall Airborne into 100 metres. Over.
I need to get that blast.
What's happening?
A-firm, Victor 3. Interrogative, you did just say Victor 2 the head out, over?
Yep. Get going. Over.
A-firm, front. Victor 2 moving, out. Alright, let's watch out for these IEDs.
Are we at the front now?
Yep.
Yep.
Hello,
Just-
Victor
no,
2,
I-
when we get around this corner, form a Victor Airborne, and we'll get 1-5 at the
No, just reload yourself.
1-2 acknowledges, out. Ooh, Victor 2. Bit further forward, and form upon the left. Victor 2 forming herringbone. Right, soft dismount.
All Victor soft dismount. Now.
Hardwick, I want you facing down the road. Jurgen's with me.
Already on it.
Right, with me. Extended line. Yeah, we're just going to cover this little ridge.
Okay.
Just having a peek over here. And hold. Looks clear. Let's go back. Alright, Jurgens, take up the arc northwest, opposite side of the road.
All Victors, mount up,
Man up.
and call by number 27. Over.
Not anymore.
Victor 1 set, out.
Victor 2 set.
Good 3 set, out.
I'm not gonna fire a bullet today.
Have I shot my rifle yet? I don't think I have.
No, I haven't.
Victor 4 set, out. Victor 5 set, out.
Edwig has.
On the road.
Victor 1 change that speed.
-1.
Victor 1 acknowledges 7-0, out.
Attack north.
How many times did you MD?
1 MD, the rest will shoot.
Yeah, but it only takes one ND though to drag down your name.
3230, out.
Catch up a bit with them Underwood and then we'll drop down to 3-0.
Okay.
When you see the RPG, I want to see serpentine movement.
Right, slowing down.
Yeah.
Convoy, possible ID, right side road, move left to avoid, out. ND next to the building we just passed over.
Oh, the blue barrel.
Oh yeah, I see
User
it.
in your channel timed out.
Sneaky.
Don't like it, I know someone's got an RPG.
Stay in the middle.
User
quiet.
entered your channel.
You had
Contact left side. Daish, get eyes on. Daish! Push through, push through. Hold, hold.
RPG,
Turn us around. Victor 2's been, Victor 3's been immobilised. Pull back.
There's contact right.
Yep, keep going, keep going.
Behind us.
Daish, help him out. Don't just sit there looking at a wall.
Can't see. Yeah, I'm meant to keep my arc though, aren't I?
No,
Reloading.
He's fine.
there we go.
We got stuck in Zeus.
Pull it back more. 10 metres. And
User
then
in your
hold.
channel timed out.
Right, hard dismount.
Down to push north.
Man up, let's get out of here.
Man up.
We have got into other vehicles, we need to get out of the kill zone, over.
Oh, that's a grenade.
smoke.
Oh, okay.
Right. Victor 2 ready. Right, let's go, let's go, let's go.
It's out.
Victor 1 moving, out.
Yes, come on, lift the Vic.
I didn't hear 3 or 4 call out 5 ready, but oh well. Nope, still out.
User left your channel.
Is someone able to switch to his seat? Just take over.
Yep.
Victor 1 turning right, out.
Oh my god, get a 40 mic around.
Oh yeah. I flicked it up. Perry, you're on IED looking duty.
Oh, he's looking out an ID then?
What was it?
It says 1 times recruit Fox, over.
Again?
Wait, does that mean I have to
Roger
already
that, compliment him on his ability to hit every sign on the island.
Out. Victor 1, this is Victor 2, message over.
Just send it for Victor over.
Suggest we take it down to 4-0 for the rest of the company to catch up, over.
A-firm Victor 1 was about to ask you the same thing, over.
Tell Victor 1 to come with command, over.
Send Victor 3, over.
Victor 3 no longer exists. Roughly how far are you away from the town, over?
Very.
Yeah, very.
2 minutes drive, full speed.
Victor 1 no longer is my last, over.
Acknowledge trying to work it. We're pretty far away, over. A good few hundred meters, over.
Roger that, form a
Yeah, hold it.
big airbone and wait for Victor 2 to catch up, over.
Can we do a bit of
Victor 1 acknowledges.
I can't hear you've got command there. Hold on.
User
Right,
joined
Heron
your
Bennett, right
channel.
side. Hard dismount. Oh, yeah, there they are.
All Victor's hard dismount, or full dismount,
Hey, wake up.
and form full circle.
Full dismount.
And we arrive over.
On me.
Yeah, I got stuck in Zeus still.
Yeah,
Oh no, yeah. Well, I just thought we were gonna have to leave you. I mean, we left that shitty ass VIP. It didn't matter.
Yeah,
but
it's
yeah.
fine.
What happened to FSG's vehicle? Because you were right behind us and then all of a sudden you just went.
You never get to drive again.
I don't know who was it?
What about me?
You, but,
I was in front of you, yeah.
it was whoever.
Oh.
Oh, that's the smoke. Yeah.
Roach was testing if it was working.
Show up.
I was actually mentioning that when we formed the call or whatever. When a vehicle was immobilised, we were thinking I might give authorization for that if the situation is such that it could be helpful, because it could give us, time.
About 3 seconds worth of cover to run away.
Well, no cover, but
Yeah,
concealment.
that's fucking weird. That's not what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But
That's weird.
yeah, I don't know who it was. When I said get moving, one of the Ridgebacks took a very long time to do so, so we were in the kill zone for an unnecessary amount of time. So that was one one issue. And the other thing I've noticed, bit one, is that if I tell you to stop somewhere, it's great and all, but try to choose open areas that don't have reeds like this.
Fucking baking soda.
Yeah, it's just we don't want to end up going way too far and spreading us even more. So it's just all.
I know. I know
I'll
that,
keep it in mind.
There's always that to factor into account, but if it's only a couple hundred meters, then it's the difference between a place we can easily get ambushed and another place. Then, I mean, stop at your earliest convenience whilst maintaining safety. Other than that, radio comms are very good tonight. I keep saying out when I shouldn't, so sorry, but don't worry. I've been whipping myself in the vehicle with Bailey, and he's been laughing at me. So, other than that, radio comms very good.
Question?
Everyone was doing the formations very well, and I was just about to ask before you do that, Spittle. Does anyone want to do? Do we want to do one more life fire situation, or is everyone happy with where they are? Because I'm happy, but if you guys feel like you want to do another practice, because it wasn't very smooth. It wasn't very smooth there, so I'm happy to do another
If
one.
you don't mind, I do have one thing to add.
Yeah, I'll do Spittle and then you. Sorry, Roach, but
Okay.
just quickly, does anyone want to do another one then?
One. Do you want to do another one? Or you happy?
If even
I'm
one
up for
person does, then I will.
I wouldn't mind.
Cool, we're doing another one. Thank you, Fox. Decisive recruit.
I've got 25 minutes before Far Cry 5 anyway.
Yeah, as far as the avoiding IEDs, I think Bailey's just been using like demolition blocks.
No IDs.
Okay, because in the EODS mod, there's there are quite a few bigger ones, so you'd have to like just changing the lane isn't going to be enough to keep
Me and
yourself safe.
McFly realised that a lot of the IDs that we thought we were spotting turned out to be just these fucking cones on the side that had been knocked down earlier.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that once.
Better safe than sorry.
Sterling, question?
Yeah, but quickly before you say that, Bill, Roach is right. If we spot them far enough in advance, like the 600 metres in the example, then I prefer to take a much bigger detour, but we've been spotting them so late, we've only been really able to detour at the last minute. So, the earlier you spot it, the safer we'll be. And that's always the thing for that. But if it is possible, try and avoid a bit more, Lewis, okay?
Well done.
Yeah,
Still, what is it?
try
Ben.
and take a bigger swing around the ID as well.
Yeah.
10 metres isn't enough. It will
A
kill
lot
you.
of the time I don't even spin them, just relying
Yeah.
on McFly when he's calling it in, so I'm just winging it myself.
Bailey sits there laughing every time you miss one, so don't feel bad about yourself. Anyway, Spittle, you've waited a long time, it better be a good one.
Right. I don't know what Bailey was doing, but were you shooting the wheels out, or were you just Zeus destroying them kind of thing?
From what?
So when Recky's vehicle was disabled and when the command's vehicle was disabled, it just seemed to magically happen, or was there actually like a shot that went to their wheel or something like that?
Recky's was a practice, I believe.
Oh, right. Okay.
So nothing happened to that. And ours, it did get RPG'd.
Ah, right, okay. Didn't see an RPG then.
Yep.
Eddie, do you want to get another?
I have a question or thing. I don't know. Yeah, so obviously your Victory got immobilised, and Victor's 1 and 2 were quite far ahead, and we had to like
full on brake,
slowly reverse back to do the coil. And it just, I don't know, it wasn't very
I know, I did notice that, but
I don't know, like, what could we do to...
User left your channel.
You know, not reverse slowly back
just
to...
try and turn around. If there's a place we can turn around safely, turn around and do that.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I know it's not ideal, but we want to have as many guys as possible there. So the second it gets called, just halt exactly where you are, instead of trying to proceed. This time I'll try and say convoy halt immediately when we're immobilised. So you won't have to move as far and then it'll be easier. Okay?
Okay.
Can I ask for our last one?
Yeah.
Because I'm aware of all of the contact we've breezed through tonight. Can we have one where we stop and fight it off?
Yeah,
but we haven't trained up.
The whole point of this is we're supposed to do everything we can to avoid fighting, because it's not on our terms if we're in a convoy. We're not moving, manoeuvring, we're not moving.
But a part of the SOP studying was pushing past the contact, then maybe reorging and coming back in.
Yeah,
maybe we could practice that one.
Which would really fall under stuff like assault. I'm just trying to train you guys to be able to survive in a convoy, because all of our bad convoy experiences have been blowing up or getting ambushed and dying because you didn't know what to do.
Or me blowing up Reki.
Ward? Yeah, Ward?
Yeah. Why not practice? We haven't dealt with like a roadblock yet.
We have one in the town which we avoided with an alternate route.
But like an impact, a massive fuck off impasse.
Well, if Bailey wants to do that somewhere, make a roadblock, but we will just try to avoid it, so... If you see a roadblock, Reki, just take us a different way. Even if we go off-road, just find us a way around it, okay?
Oof. What if we're in a valley and these rocks roll down the hill and then it blocks the road and we're trapped?
Then we're being attacked by
What if the road
It's not back in the world.
What if it's like the Great Wall of China?
Well, then we drive along the Great Wall of China until we find a hole.
FSG to blow a hole in it.
Or the sea.
That's right. Or, fly to carry us over. Probably blowing a hole in those things.
Right, so we'll be a bit less forgiving this time on the IDs as well.
Well, Lewis, say goodbye then.
I can't spot them. I'm using a fucking television, not a monitor.
So
To be fair though, I'm having difficulty spotting them because they're that small.
Make sure you give a wider berth.
Small and deadly.
On the dirt tracks as
Say
well.
that,
You should be seeing them in bigger quality.
10 feet
in front of you.
I see them as
That's why we rely on Reki to blow up first.
Yeah.
So we are the early warning system.
If you see us explode, you know the IED is defused.
And we're safe now.
Yeah.
Safe until the next one.
Just going to end up FSG going back to base every time, isn't it?
Bagsy McFly's gun if it does blow up.
Fuck, you'll have to find it. It'll go for fucking 10 miles in the air.
Piece the puzzle back together.
Can I ask another question?
Yep.
Yeah.
I know we tend to have, when we are in convoy with the whole unit, we tend to have FSG at the back, because they're the most heavily armed.
Oh my god.
But they can't use their GPMG on the front in the convoy much anyway. Would it not make sense to have them at the front? And then if we do need to stop to defuse an ID, they're the ones at the front.
Well, it's Reki's job is the reconnaissance aspect, so it would make sense, but no, we'll just,
We do have. I would argue against us being in the front.
They're also
because if we are the first vehicle to die,
Yeah, we can't
the platoon loses a lot of firepower, and the convoy loses the capacity of defusing IEDs.
And they also lose their scripted boxes, which has a load of shit in it.
Yes.
Fair point.
But if Reki dies, no one cares.
This is true.
Well, yeah, we just fly you back in, you hail them in with, like, fucking your rifle strapped to your back, and that's all you need.
Yeah, and then they complain that they've lost Juliet.
Again. Every fucking time we lose Juliet.
Well, you better not lose her in
We had
campaign,
to
because you only
pretend
got
to
two.
lose her a minute ago. It was heartbreaking enough.
You're only going to have two of her on the campaign, so you better be careful.
Oh, bleed.
Shit,
Careful with them.
Whoa.
I won't be here to watch after her.
Couldn't really call it a car if I'm honest with you. It's just a
Yeah.
scaffolding with wheels.
Oh my god.
Fucking
Bastard.
get that. Fucking take that back.
Looks like a little juke buggy.
And nobody's gonna know because it's silenced.
I wonder if I fire this, anyone will notice.
Oh, is that a breeze of wind?
Ben's Lewis.
Sorry, lads, I've been having
On
a
another
bit.
note, 1-1 has got a name for their car. Sue.
Sue.
1-2.
You mean 1-2?
I thought it was Susan.
That's such a generic name.
No, it's because when we parked over on the side, Spittle went to say 1-2 is ready, and instead he said 1 Sue.
Yeah.
So we're going
That's
with
context. Okay, I like it.
We're going with Sue as our name.
Did 1-2 like me and McFly's fake shot full?
When
we
what?
took fake contact, we went.
Yes.
You copied that from FSG.
I did. Thank you,
It
Raj.
was like watching
You know
a
what I
Hollywood
also
movie.
like? You calling them the IED?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I thought you meant just last week.
What is
There's
it?
an IED, right? Was there?
I think I watched the
saw that.
photo
It was
over
fun.
there.
I thought I'd borrow it.
Oh, Victor 2, you know, there's just an ID just right next to your vehicle.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
I
go.
was in the car going, what?
See how easy it is to spot them. You
Hey,
can
we were
drive
giving
over
it
the
free
island.
plenty of
You
heads
can
up.
actually IED.
User left your channel.
We just want to make sure they're actually IEDs, so
Oh,
we drive over them first.
Walker, drive, forward, gun.
Then we tell you, you know, if it's a bit of a bump, we go, oh shit, that's actually an ID.
Also, I swear you run over that.
I like your
guy.
haircut.
I don't care. I told
Think
you.
maybe we just walk into it.
Is it mandatory to be in Rookie and have that haircut?
Yeah, you gotta get a bit of a mop.
Okay, Walker, stop arguing.
You say that though, he literally
I told you
looks
what's
like a
up.
porn
No,
keep
star.
arguing.
Not
He's even
Hey.
got a mullet for it.
It looks like
Guys, stop being quick. Listen to your corporal.
It looks like oh, what's his name? Fucking
Wow,
that
actually,
could be
that's
an
a
active brain.
Brainstorming right now.
mate, fucking numbers are flying out. I can't even
Roach.
think what his name is.
Yeah.
Is Ron
Are you
Ron Jeremy?
dumb?
That's the one.
Are you
Ron
Belgian?
Jeremy.
Are you dumb or are
I
you
am
just
Dutch.
insane?
Just like
Boy
a
is
brown-haired Ron Jeremy.
That's a Belgian boy. This is
Yes.
a Dutch boy.
Yes.
The fact that
Belgian
HQ has taken a
Here we can
stand
all just
back
watch
I just
from
need
it.
one
Flies.
bicker between itself.
Right.
Give him a mount up.
Man up.
Run
Go, go, go!
Ah, Victor look. Oh, poor Sue. She needs a rub down, I think.
Oh, Sue? God damn it, Sue.
She's very
Sue is
dirty.
one dirty bitch.
Hey, who's in my seat? Get out of my seat.
No, you're going in the top cover, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I am.
That's why I got into the
Oh
top cover.
god, have you actually let me fucking sit with Perry?
Yeah, enjoy.
Hello, baby girl.
You're right, sweetheart.
How the fuck are you supposed to see out these things in first person?
You
It's
don't.
not that bad actually. If you right click though, it's even fucking worse while you're driving.
Ugh.
Well, the thing is, this is why you rely on the reconnaissance vehicle, and there's also cameras around this entire thing, but they don't really
Hey
work.
guys, what does this red button do?
All victors, my convoy had decided to change itself. Break.
That deploys
Call
Sue's
when
tank.
set by the numbers. Over.
Do I do the
Victor 1 set out.
Victor 2 set.
I'll tell them no.
This is reset.
Victor 4 set out. Victor 5 set.
Alright, reverse
out.
onto the road, please.
Victor, I'm the captain now.
Yeah, take it over my cold dead corpse, bitch.
Let's go.
Heard all victors have been moving. I'll be sending to your house.
Victor 3, this is Victor 1, message over.
I must not launch a 40
Are we
mic up to.
continuing along this road, over?
That's an A firm. Continue in a straight line. Don't
Eish.
move off this road, over.
And away.
Victor 1 is on.
Swinging it round.
And you're facing it towards your toes again.
I remember this too.
It's alright, he's making the floor scared. It's amazing.
Oh, that's a bomb.
Yeah, that's Mayday.
Oh,
IED,
that's a
right?
Big IED, that's what goes.
That's a big one.
All victors try and take a much bigger. It's a large one.
Smash
I'm
through
not
that
gonna
fence,
get
smash through the
back,
fence.
over.
Fuck it,
That's
we're
a
not paying
big
for that either.
Acceptable casualties. Nope, nope.
Oh,
Who just went bang?
that was nice and blastable. Victor
one
1
else
would
has come
advise
through.
slow down for the rest of the convoy, over.
Bring it down to 3-0 as we're approaching a town, over.
All victors can be taking any casualties or vehicle damage from that. Over.
Guys at the top.
Oh,
Convoy, be advised, roadblock in
Shots right side.
ahead.
robot
over.
front. Eyes on it. Open up Daesh.
Shall I swing it, yeah?
Yeah.
Big one going off-road as road is blocked over.
Get guy right.
Oh, dead it.
Where are you going?
Where are you?
This is where the wheels are going.
What the?
You're never gonna get through.
All the gears, there's a on the road here, and harvest map. Hot smoke, please, 5-2, over.
Let's think
We've got an arc in the way out, let's run. Please, boys, please. Out.
What the fuck are we doing?
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, except for the casualties.
Keep the fire going, all victors, out.
Jurgens need you on me, I was unconscious.
Taking it right back onto main road.
As if you just knocked that wall down.
Yeah, just get out.
All victors, casualty reports, by the numbers. Over.
Daesh, you injured?
Victor 1 has no casualties. Out.
Victor 2 has 1 times tier 3. Out. Me.
Victor 3, no casualties, out.
Thank you.
Four green out. 5 green out.
Okay, walking needs to shut the fuck up.
With 1 proceed for 1 kilometre, then form a vehicle herringbone at the earliest safe location. We will deal with casualty over.
Victor 1 acknowledges going to form vehicle herringbone just before the corner
Yes, but
left.
on the arcs,
Over.
obviously, I'm just mindful that you said about keeping the arcs. It takes
Yeah.
distance to swing around.
I'll talk to you about that after the arc.
Full dismount for a school circle. Over.
This is going to be a grilling for me.
Resend last Victor 2.
You did really well there, so there was nowhere to go.
Well, fucking Ricky just bounced over the fucking
Yeah.
tires like
I
an
asked you to resend last Victor 2. Over.
What did I thought so? I said all victims will be full dismounting when the vehicle herringbone occurs. Over.
Victor 1 acknowledges forming vehicle herringbone. Out.
Alright, full dismount.
Does he want us in the middle?
Yes.
Yay, let's speak to Daddy Sterling.
What? He's trying to run.
I was moving into the middle of the road a bit.
Reki doing a fantastic job of finding us a route there.
I'm gonna show you.
Becky, you were so far ahead, we didn't even know
Why
where
do you
you'd
think I'm
gone.
friends with so many women?
Through the gap.
It's because I get to see the
Through that
titties.
little gap, Sterling, and
That's
we
not a
can
joke.
fit through.
Right, shut up.
Straight over the towers at times.
Yeah, we didn't. I was gonna stop us because I thought it was trapped, because that was Bailey's whole point, and then I just fucking I watched. What was it? 1-1 or 1-2? Just fucking ran the wall.
I have to admit, I think that was good driving on my behalf, getting through the
I told
tiny
Lewis
gaps,
to go through
just
the
saying.
wall.
Anyway, let's just do debrief so we can get out of here. I thought it was really good tonight. People were, especially the radio comms, I was really trying to be harsh on the guys and make sure the radio's on point, because I don't think it's possible to have an organised convoy without good radio comms. So I was a big fan of how things went, and I hope that some of that dedication translates to 60.1 and 100.1, because that was much better than usual. I was a big fan. The comments as well, everything was going sensibly, people were showing initiative. I think we need a bit more experience, because in unfamiliar, harder situations, people started to freeze up occasionally. And I think, yeah, we're a bit slow to listen to my commands as well on occasion.
Yeah,
I don't know how much I was cutting out though. But other than that, big fan. I like what I saw tonight. I think this was one of our most successful trainings in a while. I know there was a lot of theory at the start, but I hope you enjoyed it. I know there wasn't much contact either, so if you weren't driving a gun, it was probably fairly boring. I'm sorry for that, but that's what happens when we do convoy ops. Unfortunately, only a few people get to do the fun jobs. I did try to increase the vehicle count while we were doing dry runs, so hopefully you all got some experience. And thank you to 1-5 for occasionally seeing an ID. And thank you 5-2. That suggestion about the smoke was a good one, and you got quite a lot of fire out. So I was impressed. And does anyone have any final questions before we get off the server?
Yes, probably
Yep.
actually to do the last engagement, when it came to obviously Reki fucking jumping over them tyres like a little mountain goat, would it have been a good idea to go through the wall like I did, or?
To be honest, I think at that point Reki should have realised that we were trapped.
We did trap off when we realised.
Yeah, and called it in so that we could have perhaps, dismounted outside the trap and then moved in, or I don't know.
There's always a way out.
Hitting the wall though is an improvisation. Good.
I'll have you know there was that van that you saw on the approach to the town blocked the path behind us. So
yeah, I did thought it might mark it.
It was a trap, and I think the point was you asked for some action, so Bailey trying to make it so that we had no choice but to stand the fight. But apparently he didn't factor into you guys ramming the walls. So
yeah, boy.
We don't want to die.
You wanted contact, but you got yourself out of it too well. So
3-1-1.
But you did get out very well. The convoy integrity was maintained. We caught that smoke. I don't know if it did much help. One complaint I have had tonight is I don't think the 50s are firing enough. That might just be the fact that we only ever have like one facing that direction. So that's very easily the case. Especially as I've told you to watch your arcs. So it could be indicative that you are doing that. But as much fire as possible, please. I know we don't have unlimited ammo, but it's better to use it now and avoid a situation than perhaps have a situation where we won't die, and then we have no ammo later. Let me start that again.
But that's why we call FSG the arm and backup for us. They know how.
It's better we use a bunch of ammo now and avoid all of us dying than potentially have enough ammo for a potential situation where we could potentially die in an hour's time, or we might just sit there doing nothing and then have 400 rounds left, which could have been used to stop further injuries earlier. Does that all make sense?
Basically, use your ammo now while you're actually
User left your channel.
Use it rapid fire. Use it to try and avoid threats in the now. I know this is not very good in the long term if we do need to use it later, but if we have no ammo left, we'll try to avoid situations where we might need to use it all. So, any further points?
More observation.
Yep.
There's some IDs to our northeast. Don't know if we need to worry about that.
Oh.
Bailey, are you trying to...
He's trying to deafen us.
No, I was just going to show you that if you don't give a wildlife birth, the IDs, they will in fact get you. Especially in the campaign.
Can I just say that the IEDs look absolutely fantastic at Black Score.
One hard one.
What I'll tell you about that,
Yeah,
a wide berth.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of room I left that one is a good amount of room to give on the propane tank especially. And maybe I should have gone around to the right so I wasn't driving around a building like that, but try to give more room if you spot it in advance, okay?
I think it's a bit awkward for just... I think it was a bit awkward for just me and McFly, because I'm driving and trying to focus on the road and the route, whereas he's trying to do gun and comms. Yeah. If we had a third person with us, they would have been able to be on the commander seat and focus on IEDs. It's just too much for two guys, I think.
Yeah. It's probably be easy to have your driver on 51 just so that you can have a gunner dedicated to scanning the road ahead, and on 61 only if it's needed. But other than that, I think Bailey wants to show us this explosion and show you how dangerous IEDs are, and then we can index.
Hello. Can I beat the test?
Oh yes. So
it disappeared halfway through.
Stand back, everyone. Stand back.
Wider berth is needed.
He's blowing up Stanley.
Yes.
And run towards it.
Stand back.
I was saying stand back, as in stand back.
I mean, it's
when you see one. I'm all blown up. I heard the big boom and I saw the big...
It's because you keep talking about it like it's still there.
Anyway,
see, Lewis, we'll whiz past it and we'll tell the others to give
present press. That's index.
Alright.
Index.
Did everyone know that Pez has an American girlfriend?
We're freaking after.
Yes, we are.
There won't be a platoon one, so... Oh.
Ow.
User joined your channel.